from the campus of Florida State University, a bigger and better Doak Campbell Stadium. Centerpiece for one of the greatest spectacles in all of college football, where this legendary ambassador seems to always have his program in the national chase. This season, all the elements seem to be in place. On the ground, a versatile Heisman hopeful. In the air, two who serve as game breakers, and all set into motion by a new signal caller. All the pieces indeed, as the Seminoles showcase a defense that's reminiscent of '93. This unit ranked #1 in all the land, anchored by two towering bookends. Maybe the best ever to wear the garnet and gold. All here delirious with a contagious feel of primetime college football, where the Noles faithful are pointing to yet another national championship. And this place is about to erupt as the Noles in the tunnel to the south are about to come on the field. The garnet and gold looking for their 4th win of this 1996 season.
Honda invented the ATV, and in over 25 years, no one has taken the idea farther. Now, with the purchase of a 4Trax 300 or 300 4x4, get a Magellan GPS satellite navigator. So no matter where on earth you go, we can help bring you back. And with any new Honda 4Trax, get one of the best deals on earth. No down payment and 13.5% APR financing.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans? Aisle 5. Beans and Franks? Aisle 7.
Hi. Hi.
Fat free. Nothing but carb. Check this out. You are 1 million shopper! Even at the supermarket, you can do more with the American Express card. I love this card.
ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And by Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair for men and women. Already in Tallahassee, we'll get you there in a minute. Mike Tirico in our ESPN studios. If you were watching baseball throughout the day on both networks, you missed some wild finishes in college football. None crazier than what happened in Evanston. Michigan taking on Northwestern. Michigan led 16-0 after 3. Northwestern comes back. Their kicker, Brian Goins, kicks what he thinks is the game-winning field goal, but the play was not whistled to start, so he has to do it again. And he made it again. Northwestern scores all 17 points in the 4th quarter. More than magic from last year, the defending champs beat Michigan by 1. Ohio State, completely dominant in Columbus, beat Penn State by 31. 5 of the unbeatens knocked off today, including 12th-ranked Virginia, surprised in Atlanta. Nebraska hands K-State its first loss, and Steve Mariucci and Cal win at Southern California. West Virginia looks like they'll stay unbeaten, leading Boston College by 17 in the Big East. Auburn had to rally late to beat South Carolina, and Wyoming scare early, but handling San Jose State. Pitt beat Temple 53-52. Temple blew a 20-point 4th quarter lead, and after the game, their head coach Ron Dickerson announced he will not return to coach the Temple Owls after the end of this season. Much more as we continue throughout the night, and remember, Chris, Lee, and Kirk will see you from Columbus at halftime and on the scoreboard show after the game. Now back to Tallahassee. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Kellen Winslow. Ron.
Okay, Michael, we're just about set for action as the Tigers come calling, and it's against the #2 Seminoles, a series that has always been one that something strange happens in this football game. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome again to Saturday Prime Time here on ESPN. Well, for Clemson, it's been a rather rocky road in 1996. They're off to a 2-2 start, but they've had some off-field problems that have caused headaches for the coaching staff. As far as Florida State is concerned, they're #2 in the nation. They got maybe one of the best defenses that they've ever had at this school, but Mike Gottfried, offensively, you can talk to the fans, you can talk to the coaches, you can even talk to the players. they're not happy. They don't like this offense. What's going on?
There's a concern, Ron, because they're ranked 75th in the nation total offense. Last year they were #1, so they want to open it up tonight, and they want to give Thad Busby a chance with a shotgun, spread it out, get the ball to work done, rock Preston, and see if he can get this offense in rhythm. Because I'll tell you, Miami's next week, and they want to be ready for that game. But Dan Kendra, also the backup quarterback, is on the heels of Thad Busby. He needs a big game.
So they want to oil the machine, so to speak, before they get to the Canes. Let's go down to the sideline. Kellen Winslow is there as usual, and he has more on the Clemson side of the football. Kellen.
Well, Ron and Mike, we were just informed moments ago that Nalon Green, the junior quarterback, the more experienced quarterback, will start tonight. He hurt his knee last week in a ball game. We were expecting Billy Lucky, but Nalon Green warmed up very well. He's able to go. Coach West told me beforehand he did not want to start a freshman in front of this crowd, but we may see number 13, Billy Lucky, early in the game if Nalon Green can't go the whole way. Ron, back up to you.
All right, Kellen, we'll get you to keep a close eye on him as you look at Tommy West. His career at Clemson, he was 8-4 last year, 5-6 his first full season after taking over at the end of the 1993 year. Florida State won the toss, and they have deferred. And Mike, the wind, as you look at Bobby Bowden, second as far as active coaches and wins. Speaking of wins, add a D to that. The wind is a factor in this football game tonight, coming from our right to our left. And Florida State will be going against the wind in this first quarter. Joe Woods, Antoine Edwards, the two deep men for Clemson. This is a great kick into the wind, and he'll go down on one knee. They will take it at the 20-yard line. So let's set the offense for the Clemson Tigers. Nalon Green, nicked last week, will keep a close eye. Pfister, he is a real blue-collar, hard-nosed runner. Emery Smith, the fullback. Kenya Crooks, Joe Woods, the wide receivers. Lamont Hall, primarily a blocker, is the tight end. And up front, this offensive line, this is the way it looks. Bundren, he is the best of the group. Butler at left guard. Jamie Trimble at center. Roundtree at right guard. And Holland Postel at right tackle. And he's the one who really has his hands full tonight because he will be going up against Florida State's Peter Boulware and Raynard Wilson. They come out option. First play. Priester. And he will take it out close to the 29-yard line. As you look at the starters for Florida State, the two defensive ends, Wilson and Boulware, will call their names all night. They are outstanding, and Andre Wadsworth has really stepped up. The linebackers, very quick, very active. Crawford, Darrell Bush in the middle, and Henry Crockett. We'll call 45 a lot tonight as well. In the secondary, solid group. Roll, along with Capers at the corners. Chevin Smith and Dexter Jackson are the safeties. Smith, the big fullback, lunges forward, and the brother of Emmett, I believe, has the first down as Raynard Wilson stops him.
Ron, the reason Nalon Green is so important to this Clemson attack tonight at the quarterback position is because the option is the one offense that can slow down Raynard Wilson and Peter Boulware, the two defensive ends, because now all of a sudden they have to play and they have to think a little bit who has who on the option. The option attack makes the ends settle just a little.
So this goes back to that thing that we talked about last week that you introduced, saying that the option is needed against the defenses that everybody's playing. First down as he goes across the 30. First game average 158, rushing yardage second only 41.3, and it's scoring 7th as far as the NCAA is concerned.
Ron, the one concern I'd have if I'm Darrell Moody, the offensive coordinator, is that Nalon Green didn't practice much this week. So timing has to be important on the option, and we'll see if Florida State can cause a turnover.
So they get the first down of the night. Pitch comes back to Priester, turns it back up, and he'll have the 35-yard line as Bush, Darrell Bush, the junior from Altamont Springs in the middle, comes outside to corral him.
Nalon Green's going to come down and just pitch the ball. Now here's Peter Boulware, one of the defensive ends. Now all of a sudden, see, you make him play the quarterback end pitch man. Now he's a very active pass rusher, but this option game's going to throw him off a little bit. Missed tackle in the secondary by Chevin Smith.
Mike, also those defensive ends are going to have to cut down those splits if they're going against the option, won't they?
You're right. They're going to have to tighten up because of not letting tackles get on the linebackers.
pass complete to Tony Horn. Now they say incomplete. And it'll bring up a 3rd down at about 5.
The other important thing for Clemson tonight is on 1st down to get plus yardage, and so far they have. Now, their 2 first downs, they've had made good yardage on 1st down with the option. You do not want to get in long yardage situations with Boulware and Renard Wilson bearing down on your quarterback.
Tommy West grimacing a little bit, hoping that Horn had caught that ball and that they would have a 3rd and short, but now they look at a 3rd and 5. They need the ball just across the 41. From the shotgun, Green throws it back. That's Horn. Oh, what a hit. Number 37, Smith, probably playing as well as any of the defensive backs for Florida State. And now, Mike, what Clemson has to contend with, they get to kick with the wind. But the Florida State punt, cover, and block team has been devastating. This guy right here, last week, 2 block punts against North Carolina.
Ron, they know how to do the block punts. They know how to take it off the kicker's foot. They work on it every day. They're one of the best special teams in the country. Now, what also, when you block kicks, your return is set up because they were going to stay in there and make sure they block you, so you get a good return, too.
Good job by Clemson. Feaster at the 33. 45. Oh, does he get hit? The ball comes loose, and now a flag comes down. So we got a lot of things to discuss before we know exactly where this thing's going.
Clemson's got the football. It was Chris Jones.
Feaster shaken up. As we said, he took a head-high tackle, and Dunnigan had recovered the ball. Here's the breakdown.
I think it was number 57, Ron. Chris
Illegal
Jones.
block in the back, doing the return. Declined. 1st down.
So mistake Florida State. Clemson gets the ball back, and they will have it at the 45.
There's Chris Jones right there with the tackle, number 57, a linebacker. He makes the hit.
And that's the reason Feaster was uneven, so to speak, as far as equilibrium coming off the field. See if the Tigers can take advantage of this. Play action. Knocked away at the 28-yard line. Good defense by Samari Roll. Joe Woods tried to go high and take it away from him. Couldn't.
By establishing the option in the first couple series, as you slow down the ends. Now remember, Renard Wilson and Peter Boulware have had great nights. Now they're going to keep the tight end Lamont Hall in and block on Renard Wilson. Now let's go to the other side. Peter Boulware. Now you got a good tackle there, Jim Bundren. They feel like he can handle Peter Boulware tonight. We'll see.
For Bundren, 26 straight starts. Number 79, 6'3", 290, a junior out of Wilmington, Delaware. Quick pitch. Good contact on the outside as Florida State forced it. Wood Capers came up and made the hit, but they still will pick up positive yardage.
Last year, Ron, Clemson had as much success as anybody offensively. You look last year, 321 rushing yards, 107 passing yardage. Again, the option attack kind of slowed them down a little bit.
Like I mentioned off the top of this telecast, that something strange usually happens in this football game. Everything from punt rooskies to just weird plays. And already tonight, Clemson has had the football almost the first 4 minutes of the ball game, and they're running against Florida State, which nobody else has done. Fumbles the snap, still loose.
Ron, that's what I was talking about earlier. When you have a quarterback and he hasn't practiced all week, you're going to have some of these in the ball game. You're going to have some turnovers. Luckily, it looks like Clemson recovered the ball.
They have recovered it. It is a big loss back to the 50-yard line, but the most important thing is they did not give up the football. I think Priester came away with it. As Green fumbled the snap, Tommy West says, we would love to have taken advantage of the situation, but let's don't give it back to them. See now if Florida State will come after the punter again.
Number 9, Peter Ward, for the
37, Kevin Laird, sophomore out of Brandon, Mississippi, just outside of Jackson. And this time, Florida State has the return on. Fair catch is called for and is made at the 20. So let's take a break. 10:50 left in this opening quarter. About to see Florida State on offense for the first time tonight.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
It started with the Arch Deluxe. Now McDonald's introduces more sandwiches with the grown-up taste.
Honey, our little boy, he's growing up.
Into what? McDonald's new Deluxe line. Whole chicken breast filet and fish filet that are big, sophisticated, and very grown up.
Do you know what I like about dreaming? If we dream, anything's possible. Some people think instead of dreaming all day, there are better things we could be doing. I think if we all spent a little more time dreaming, we could do better things.
The Chrysler Sebring Coupe and Convertible. It's what happens when you spend a little more time dreaming.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Russell Athletic. For really tough athletic wear that can survive anything, get Russell Athletic. Get tough. And by Chrysler. Form follows function. It is actually cool in North Florida. Wonderful night for football. It's supposed to go down into the 60s. These Floridians have had to go for wraps, if you can believe it, here in October. Early October. Busby opens it up in a shotgun formation. Drills it complete at the 25 to Dugans. And let's take a look at the starters for Florida State tonight in their normal set. Busby, he'll have the Heisman candidate, Warwick Dunn behind him, Abdullah, the fullback. The wide receivers, they can go 6 deep, and they are very talented. E.G. Green, Andre Cooper, and Melvin Pearsall. And up front, they are young in some spots, particularly Whitaker at left guard. Pass drop. That was intended for Dugans again at the 35 as we look at the starters on defense for Clemson. Dingle, Platten, White, and Bradford, the front four. The linebackers, Bartley, Wilson, Anthony Simmons. Last year, the freshman UPI Player of the Year. Bartley, Wilson, McLeon, Carter, Edwards, and Ford in the secondary. Dexter has played a little bit of everything. Quarterback, wide receiver, now defensive back. Busby on 3rd down. Drills it. Incomplete. He looked for Dugans again. And 1, 2, 3. Florida State is going to have to punt.
Ron, here's the respect that everybody has for Warwick Dunn. Look at, you got 4 receivers and you only have 4 defensive backs. That means 7 people are in the box just because of Warwick Dunn. They should be able to throw the football because Clemson is going to try to stop Warwick Dunn.
Sean Liss kicking into this very stiff breeze to the north. McLeon is back deep. He waits at around the 33 of Clemson. Now with the wind. Earlier in warm-up, Liss was kicking the ball 75 yards, and this is a great one into the wind. From the 25, he's going to be hit immediately, and his knee was down at the 27. Well, catch NFL Countdown tomorrow as Boomer and the boys start your day off right. They'll deal with the history of the sack from the pioneers like Deacon Jones to modern-day artists like Reggie White, and also Junior Seau, how he has matured over the years in San Diego.
Ron, that first drive, I would expect that Florida State's going to be able to throw the ball against Clemson with that alignment because Clemson's trying to stop Warwick Dunn. But remember, that Busby has to have a big quarter and big half.
Just over 10 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Very quick thing as far as Florida State is concerned. As Horn makes the quick catch, goes across the 30, and Capers makes the stop on him. In fact, the thing that surprises me, Florida State won the toss and they deferred. Clemson has the football and the wind. We thought yesterday, we were out here doing some voiceover work, that if the wind blew this way, that Florida State probably would put Clemson going into the wind in the first quarter, because it is definitely an advantage.
You would think, but I don't know what the reason for that was.
Gain of 5 on first down. So again, as Mike had mentioned, doing well, 4+ on first down. It is imperative to live against this Florida State defense. They do the same play to the other side. Horn gets a block and then is upended by Samari Roll, but he will have the Tiger first down. And he goes straight over to the sideline to hear something from his head coach, Tommy West.
You're going to see Brian Wofford, number 25, block on this quick screen out to Tony Horn. Tony Horn, good effort to get the first down. Good play calling by Daryl Moody, who's the offensive coordinator, because when you got a great defense, you better find a way to keep them off balance.
And on those passes, chop the outside and get it thrown in a hurry. Get rid of it. Horn to the top of your screen. Straight ahead across the 40-yard line, and just what Clemson would like to continue to do. We've now gone under 9 minutes in the first quarter. They've had the football all except 3 plays, and if you keep it away from Florida State's offense, then you keep them from being prolific, and right now they're staggering a little bit.
And they're winning the field position war so far because they recovered the fumble of Feaster, and they were able to punt the ball down in the hole for Florida State to start from their 20-yard line.
12-3 total plays in the early going. Green play action. Puts it on a hip. Got a man. Double coverage. That's a bump, and there's going to be a flag thrown. Horn, the intended receiver, and that's going to be called on roll. Now, if you don't think Horn doesn't have speed, he had split the 2 defensive backs and had outrun them.
Well, he has good speed. We're going to see the defensive ends, which is such a big part of this Florida State defense. Now, this is play action, so you're getting your tackles right on Renard Wilson and Peter Boulware. And now you pick them up with a back, Emery Smith. Here's the other side, 77. Matt Butler blocking.
So what you're saying is we're going to see a lot more from Clemson tonight of what we just saw, and that is 2-man routes so they can leave maximum protection.
You can't do it all the time, but you can pick your spots and you can protect.
First down, the penalty moves it to the 44-yard line of Florida State, and you saw the number, the worst in the ACC as far as penalties.
Now remember the option. We've seen the option the first 2 plays. I haven't seen it for a while.
First down, they go with the tailback, and Priester stopped at the line of scrimmage. Mike Tirico, our first visit with you. My friend, how are you?
Doing fine, Ross. Ron, this McDonald's breakaway takes us to Austin after an Oklahoma State turnover. James Brown, quarterbacking the Longhorns, hands it off to Ricky Williams. Williams' 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Texas waiting the kickoff, leads 7-0.
Well, that might have brought a few smiles down in Austin. I can tell you there were not many the first 6 days of this week. Last Saturday night.
They had a bad ball game against Virginia. Of course, Georgia Tech beat Virginia today.
That's right. Second down. It is going to be 10. It was no gain on that last play. Maybe a loss of a half. Shuttle pass. And well covered by Florida State. Shovel pass to Priester. Flag is down as Bush and Crawford combined on the stop. You see Henry Crockett signaling to the sideline. He already knows what the call is going to be.
Double foul, offsetting. Offsides on the defense, holding on the offense, offset.
So Henry gave us only one half of the story.
Well, Clemson got a break there.
So they'll do it again. Second down, just over 10 yards to go for the first down.
Little shovel draw. It was an offensive play that was founded by Jack Curtis, longtime coach out on the West Coast. Peter Boulware was not buying that fake.
Hard to keep 55 and 58 away from the football. Green in play action, overthrows Cooks right in front of the Clemson bench. And now it's going to be third down. Clemson needs to take advantage because I promise you, in the second quarter when they go into the win, they're going to realize that it is a much different field.
Well, Peter Boulware said the key is where the quarterback drops for me when I chase the quarterback in pass protection. All of a sudden, here's the back, number 18, Emery Smith, who's got good size, 241 pounds, so he matches up fairly well with a 255-pound Boulware.
Emery's been slowed a little bit this year. As you know, he is the brother of Emmitt Smith of the Dallas Cowboys, but he's had some back problems and has not been 100%. Third down. They need the 34 of Florida State.
And Boulware's offside.
Pass complete at the 29-yard line to Joe Woods.
When you get frustrated sometimes as a defensive end, you get frustrated. He's lining up offside, Peter Boulware.
Exactly right. Penalty is declined. So there's one been declined. We've had offsetting, and then the pass interference call. Florida State off to a horrible start, and one of the reasons they've been staggering a little bit.
Well, you have to wonder, again, they're in what they call in the middle of a tough road right here because they played North Carolina last week, a very emotional game. They've got Miami next week, but they've got a game today that they've got to play, and they've got to be ready to go.
This is a team that has always played them well, regardless of what kind of season they were having, Mike. Straight ahead, Emery Smith, he'll get one, maybe two. Dunnigan, I beg your pardon, had just come in replacing Smith. Bobby Bowden told us yesterday, I tell our linebackers, they're one team that will turn around just to keep us honest and turn it, give it to that fullback, and we better respect it.
Well, Ron, when you look at Emery Smith, he's 241. You look at Priester, the tailback, he's 230. So they've got two backs that they can hammer at you in the middle of the line.
Boulware comes out of the lineup. Greg Spires, number 90, a junior out of Cape Coral, 6'2", 270, checks in replacing him. On second down, got his man, oh my, hadn't turned around. As Woods now, possibly he did run a wrong route. You see him pointing back to the quarterback, but he was open. Maybe that's the reason he wasn't, because the route was incorrect.
Well, Ron, here's what happened on it. You had a blitz. Henry Crockett's going to blitz from the middle, number 45. Number 45 is going to come inside, and then they're going to get also pressure from Andre Wadsworth, and the receiver has to cut his route down, Joe Woods, because of the linebacker blitz. Didn't do it.
This from the sideline, Steve Feaster was knocked unconscious on that first punt return. He will not play again in the first half. Third down, pressure is on, got his pass away, but he just had to hurry it because of all the pressure.
And Ron, so far we have not seen Peter Boulware and Renard Wilson or Andre Wadsworth make a sack, but I'm telling you now, Nealon Green is throwing the ball too quick because he knows they're coming, so that he's trying to get rid of the ball too quick and not allowing the pass to develop. Because his offensive line's not doing a bad job. Here's the pressure on the outside coming from Peter Boulware. Renard Wilson coming from the backside. So that was not a sack, but Peter Boulware and Renard Wilson made that play happen.
Michael Bryce, a 45-yard attempt. Now keep in mind, he has a strong wind behind him. Good pass. Ball is going to be wide to the right. No good. Standing ovation for the defense. We'll take a break. 5:45 left opening quarter. We'll be right back.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights up.
Man, I'm hungry. Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog. French fries. Hamburger. Tacos. Tacos grande. Pizza. Coach, going somewhere, ladies. Hard work. Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Get up there, Lord, bud. Go, go.
If we don't dream of doing more, won't we just end up doing more of the same?
The Chrysler Sebring JXI convertible. Chrysler Sebring convertible. As far as it gets for more of the same.
What if your car slips off the road in Slippery Rock? Or you need the name of a mechanic in Mechanicsville? Well, if your car is insured by State Farm, just look up the local State Farm agent. Almost anywhere you travel, whether it's a big metropolis or just a little one, a good neighbor is always nearby to help. So if your car gets stolen in Thief River Falls, or you have some trouble in Paradise, hey, don't worry about it. State Farm is there.
Peyton Manning and the Volunteers travel down to Georgia to battle the Bulldogs in an SEC clash. Tennessee, Georgia, next Saturday at 7, only on ESPN.
We're back, 5:45 left, no score, opening quarter, and these guys here, the offensive line for Clemson, have done an outstanding job protecting their quarterback at the early going. Meanwhile, Boulware, Wadsworth, and company, they're talking about what they got to do to make things happen. The main thing they got to get happening is you look at the offense last week against North Carolina, and you understand they shut it down a little bit after they got ahead.
Ron, it's just a matter of time till old number 28, Warwick Dunn, gets involved in this offense, because he's the guy that's going to electrify this offense and electrify this crowd.
Time of possession, Florida State's had it only 46 seconds in this opening quarter. Swings it out to Dunn. Can't hold it. That is the first time he's touched the ball, and we're about at 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. That goes incomplete. So when a defense can cause that to happen, then you got to change some strategies.
Well, when I talked to Ellis Johnson, the defensive coordinator, he said the one player we've got to stop is Warwick Dunn. We cannot allow him to get off. He said last year we couldn't corral him at all, and he just killed us.
Williams checks in at fullback. Pass is caught and out of bounds immediately just around the 40 is Andre Cooper. It's Andy Ford who's out there covering. So there's your first completion and your first down.
Well, Andre Cooper was Mr. Basketball in Florida in 1993. Hasn't had many opportunities to catch the football so far this year. Good throw by Thad Busby right in front of Andy Ford.
Andre, one of those extremely fine, athletic wide receivers that Florida State seems to be renowned for. Warwick Dunn, first carry from scrimmage tonight. Has 5, has 10, has 15, and he is down inside the 40-yard line. It is at the 38, first and 10 Florida State, and he goes from 38 to 38.
Ron, he is the best back in my estimation in the country, and because he can do so many things. He's just such a good football player when he gets his ball in the hands. Watch him make this little move here. The little cut, just set up the block on the backside. Andy Ford gets knocked down. Just a good job, Andre Cooper with a good block.
And he needs to say thank you to Andre Cooper. Cooper out there with the good block as Dunn goes right in the middle. Not much doing on that play. White with the stop. And let's check in again with Mike Tirico.
Ron, over on the Deuce in the Southeastern Conference, it's Georgia in Starkville. Mississippi State scored on a 17-play drive, but Georgia answers with a big one. Mike Bobo, 51 yards to Juan Daniels. Bobo's just thrown one to Hines Ward. Georgia's up 6, waiting the point.
So the magic wand puts him on the scoreboard. We'll see him next week and see if that thing works against Peyton Manning and company. That'll be our game next Saturday. Swings the pass out, too high for Warwick.
Good pressure by Howard Bartley, number 47. Didn't give Warwick Dunn a chance to get that football. Thad Busby had to throw quick. You know, Thad Busby, Ron, was a camper here at Florida State's football camp after his junior year in high school. When he came out, he was the highest recruited quarterback along with Ron Powell. He committed early here. They feel like he's got all the tools, but it just hasn't happened yet on offense for them.
The first time they got a look at him was at the Bowden Academy camp. And I think that's in Birmingham. And he was here with Peyton Manning in that same camp. Going to go long. Got a man wide open. He'll have it for the touchdown. E.G. Green. Well, a huge set of celebration going on, and right now I don't think Florida State cares if they get a penalty or not. They are so happy to see the offense get on track.
Ron, the way Clemson is playing, and they're forced to play them that way because you got to stop Oregon. The passing game will be there. E.J. Green on a post route, probably the most relieved guy in the stadium, is right there, number 12, Thad Busby.
Scott Bentley, now a senior out of Aurora. Bad pass, won't get a chance to kick this one, and he is going to be tackled. No extra point, but it is 6-0 Florida State. And as we go to break, one more look at the touchdown pass from Busby to number 19, E.G. Green. We'll be right back.
Music Room has been the place to go for band instruments for 40 years. We commit ourselves to quality, ensuring that you get only top-of-the-line band instruments when you buy or rent from us. You get names like Yamaha, King, LeBlanc, Canadian Brass, and Selmer, all names that stand for quality in the music business. Our band instrument staff are all trained and certified as band instrument specialists to make sure they can answer any question you may have. We're proud to be the Yamaha Music and Education dealer in Georgia. The Music Room, East 2nd Avenue in Rome, serving music education in Northwest Georgia since 1956. Already know about Owen's famous barbecue, but did you know they serve breakfast too? You get a good breakfast at a good price. If you need it fast, just head for the drive-thru.
This is my planet. This is my favorite barbecue place. This is my seat, and this is my special biscuit. We call it the Hat. And this is Grandma Pat. She makes my special biscuit. You come here, and she'll make one for you too.
Owen's Barbecue, Martha Berry Highway in Armurchie.
In any household, there is much pressure to succeed, but it's not all work. In the summers, the family visits national parks like Lambeau Field, Irving's Texas Stadium, and venerable Shea Stadium.
There sure were a lot of good times growing up.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Dad, how come you never took us to Disney World?
Who plays there?
6-0 Florida State on top. An amazing stat by this group right here. The last 8 times that Florida State has scored against Clemson, the strike has come with 2 minutes or less. Look at that. Average length, 117. Horn and Woods back deep for Clemson. Scott Bentley will kick this one off into the wind. Florida State only has 4:22 to play before they get this win behind them. There's Bentley. Good kick. Very good kick. 8 yards deep in the end zone. They'll take it up to 20. That's Horn. Mike.
Antoine Edwards, number 1. He's locked on man-to-man with E.G. Green. Now watch E.G. Green. He's going to come into the picture. Watch him put a little move on here. Antoine Green moved to the left side. He broke the post underneath him. He's wide open. There's no safety help because they're a man across the field. E.G. Green with an easy score. That's tough out there when you don't get any pressure on the quarterback. Takes that long to throw.
What's up, Mike in the house?
Warwick Dunn with the key run, the thing that got the Florida State offense off the snide tonight, so to speak. Quick out pass. This time to Woods. Wrestled out of bounds by Crawford across the way, and I'm going to say at the 31.
The respect that Clemson offensively has for this Florida State defense is in their play calling. Everything's quick. You do not want to take a lot of time because of Peter Boulware and Renard Wilson, so it's just wheel around, throw the ball out to Joe Woods, get a quick first down on the outside because of the respect for those 2 defensive ends. They're trying to frustrate him, but believe me, the cream will rise to the top before this thing's over.
Brian Wofford, number 25, replaces Woods, a freshman out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Priester gets the pitch on the option. 3 tough yards, and let's go to Mike Tirico. Michael, what do you have for us this time?
Ron, it is over in Atlanta as he did in games 1 and 2. Mark Wohler's on to close it out. The Atlanta Braves allow the Dodgers just 5 runs all series. It's a 3-game sweep. The Braves will host game 1 of the National League Championship Series in Atlanta on Wednesday.
Boy, impressive indeed. 3 straight. So the Braves are there, 1 step away from the big party. Our party off to a little bit of a slow start here, 6-0. Florida State on top, though, as they just got something going on that last series. Takes it to the fullback. Got a man wide open. Quite a hit by Dexter Jackson, but Crooks holds on to it. And again, Clemson comes up with a key and finds a crack in that defense.
Well, the way people play you on defense, this is going to be there also because the play-action pass by Nealon Green. He's going to fake the option up inside. So all of a sudden now, Florida State defensive backs are thinking run. Then all of a sudden, Nealon Green pulls the ball out, throws that football, and Dexter Jackson with a good hit. Kenyon Crooks was able to hold on this football.
It goes back to the point that I made it. Bobby Bowden said you've got to respect that fullback, and you're right. That fake really glued him. He caught that pass with right to his knee. Brian Wofford. Let's see. It's going to be down a loss of 2 because he caught it just behind the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 12.
When you're working on defensive ends of this caliber, you like to cut them. You like to get around their feet so that they start protecting their feet a little bit. Peter Bolwero was a 215-pound linebacker when he came here. And now he's grown into a 255-pound defensive end.
But you can see his athleticism because he jumped the blocker, caused him to pump, and that's what caused the play to fail. Green got a man. It is caught at the 20-yard line by Woods.
And Nealon Green stayed in that pocket. He had heavy pressure coming from Peter Bolware and was able to get that ball to Joe Woods. That is a big league pass by Nealon Green. Peter Bolware, 58, working against number 70, Holland Postel. Right in the face of Nealon Green. Now you're going to see the other end of it. Samari Roll, number 2, in coverage. Joe Woods, number 2, just going up for the football and making that catch, and Clemson's on the move.
First down. The ball at the Florida State 20-yard line, just inside. They give it to Smith. 1 yard on the play. Nealon Green has been impressive, Mike. Didn't think really he was going to play. They went over and did a walkthrough yesterday. They ran the option a little bit, but the youngsters had a gutsy performance so far.
Well, what the Clemson coaches told me before the game is they need his leadership and mobility on the field. They felt like if their backup quarterback, Billy Luckey, could do the job, but he's not as mobile as Nealon Green.
Crowd coming to life, trying to help. On 2nd and 9. Play action, got a pass, incomplete, and a flag comes down. Here comes the second at the 10, and Troy Saunders could be guilty.
Same thing, Ron. The play action fake, the option. Saunders was not sure whether he was going to come up with the option or not. He was beat by Kenyon Crooks. He grabbed a hold of him and interfered with him.
Going to be defensive holding. You're right.
Watch Troy Saunders now. He's looking in now. All of a sudden, he thinks maybe option. Now he reaches out and grabs Kenyon Crooks to try to keep him from going for the touchdown.
So rather than pass interference, it is defensive holding, I believe. Yep, that's what they're calling. And Mike, I'll tell you something that's huge. These Florida State defenders are so prideful about this season. They got the shutout last week. They want to win this football game, but they want real badly to get a shutout.
Well, they're frustrated right now because the play calling of Darryl Moody, he is doing a great job of frustrating the defense of Florida State.
You could see Connell Spain just now trying to pump up his fellow defenders. Pitch hit in the backfield. That is a great play by Sevin Smith, who comes up from the safety spot. And here's a guy who was a walk-on. Bobby Bowden finally looked down for the towel and said, Mickey,
this kid is the best defensive player out there. Give him a scholarship.
Well, in '94, he played against Florida in the Sugar Bowl. He was a walk-on. The fans asked Bobby, he said, who is this Chevin Smith? He said, I didn't even know. He's a walk-on. And he said he did. Just like you said, gave him a scholarship because he just continued to hang in there. And he feels like he's one of his best defensive backs now.
He really has been active and very good this year. So it is second down. The ball now rests at the 14. 6-0. Florida State on top. Under a minute to play opening quarter. Bush on the blitz. Pass is caught right over the middle. That's Wofford. And look at Cudell Spain. Are they pumped? So they're going to spot it at the 12. It will be third down.
They are protecting the goal line right now. They do not want to give that shutout up that easy.
They have not allowed a first-half point this season. That is an impressive stat. And that is the end of the first quarter. So we'll take a timeout as they change ends. Florida State 6, Clemson nothing.
Announcing the Dollar Rent-A-Car 30th Anniversary $3 million instant win game. It's driving people wild. Because now, when you rent from Dollar, you can win fabulous prizes. Like 30,000 frequent flyer miles. 30 round-trip airline tickets. 30 Florida or Hawaii vacations. And then there's that $3 million prize. $3 million! The 30th Anniversary instant win game. Only at Dollar. Call now for our special low anniversary rates.
Australia's Great Barrier Reef. You don't need fins to swim under it. You don't need wings to fly over it. You don't need 4 legs to run through it. But you just might need to bring this. Because Reef Watch Air Tours, Wild Track Jeep Safaris, and Pro Sail Schooners will take you on the ride of your life. But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Your turn, man.
When you've got the great taste of a nice cold Miller Lite, life is good. I think she digs you.
Really?
No. Beyond the sea, somewhere.
Just because something's always been done one way, does that mean it's the only way?
The Chrysler Sebring LXI Coupe. The Chrysler Sebring. Now there's a better way to build a coupe. Computers in Silicon Valley have a model number on them, and that's it. At Gateway 2000, our custom-built computers are treated a little differently. That's because every system we build has a name attached.
Connie Kramer, Connie from New Jersey. This is your computer, and it's on television.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. And the only way to get them is to call 1-800-GATEWAY. You get a friend in the business, give us a call.
6-0 at the end of the first quarter. The first quarter numbers. Take a look at this. Florida State leads. They have only 3 first downs. Time of possession, 12:51 Clemson. Right now, they have a third down. They need to get it in the Florida State end zone. Green for the end zone. Nobody there. It looked as though Crooks either had the wrong read or got held up at the line of scrimmage.
No, I think, Ron, they had great coverage on it. They rolled to a 2-deep coverage on Kenyon Crooks, so they took away any short throw to him, and then Chevin Smith was over the top, so they had it doubled pretty well. They felt like that may be the play called.
So the field goal attempt now will go into the wind, and we'll see if it is affected at that end of the field. This is going to be a 30-yard try. It's down to kick plenty of distance, and he's good. 6-3, our new score. Well, next Thursday, tune into ESPN for the weekend kickoff show. It starts at 7:30. Then at 8 o'clock, switch to ESPN2 for Southern Mississippi against East Carolina. And the Pirates' sophomore sensation, you'll get to take a look at Scott Harley. Southern Miss at East Carolina in the Deuce, 8 o'clock Eastern next week. Matt Pageant with the field goal. And Pageant is good from 30 yards. Clemson on the scoreboard. 6-3 at 14:49. As Green talks upstairs, and Mike, I think the offensive coaches, I know they'd love to have a touch on one of these series that they've been down deep. But this young man, not expected to play, has handled it extremely well.
No, Ron, I'd say you have to really take your hat off to Clemson's offensive coaches and Tommy West for the plan they came in here with. 9 out of 15, 88 yards. They're running the ball a little bit here and there, and they're up against a great defensive football team in Florida State. So when you can have that kind of success they've had in the first quarter and still be around to tell about it, to make this game close at this point, I think you've done a great job.
Warwick, number 9. And number 86, Jermaine Stringer, 2 young sprinters.
Ronnie Cottrell, who heads up the recruiting for Florida State, told me Peter Warwick is their next star, number 9. He is a great player, and he feels like he's going to be the next star here.
There's Warwick, number 9, Stringer on the far side. Very returnable as the wind grabs this one. Stringer at the 9 tries to get outside and does. 35, 36, 37. The ball is loose, and now a flag from deep downfield. And it happened right in front of the Clemson bench. The Tiger faithful think they have the football. Now let's check the flag as Bobby Bowden looks on intently, and here's the call.
An illegal block in the back on the return team is declined. First down.
First down, Clemson Tigers.
There's the kick return. Let's see if we can see where the ball's knocked out. It looked like Damon Ward, number 22, made the hit. Caused the fumble.
DeMarco Fox made the recovery. Number 12, a freshman out of Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Ron, this would be a nice time on first down to play action and try to run some type of post off of the outs and try to hit the home run right here.
6-3, Florida State. Still another mistake in this first half. Hit from behind, that's a fumble. Boulware caused it, recovered by number 45, Henry Crockett.
Took too long to develop. They were going for the home run, but Peter Boulware beat the block of Jim Bundren in the set, which was just too long. Peter Boulware. Jim Bundren is just getting beat right from the first play. He's got to get back a little further. Nealon Green on the fake, then Henry Crockett with the recovery. They had the right idea to go for the home run, but Jim Bundren didn't get set deep enough to block Peter Boulware.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. Last year, Florida State's offense had to take up the slack for the Florida State defense in a year of growth for Mickey Andrews' group. It's just the opposite this year, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And special teams tonight can hurt Florida State.
Busby with the wind, looking for Cooper. Incomplete at the 6-yard line.
That's what Florida State does the best.
And let's check in again with Mike Tirico. Mike?
All right, Ron, back to the Big 12, where Oklahoma State got a touchdown to make it a 10-7 game. Texas, a big kickoff return. Then Ricky Williams, 23 yards of speed down the sideline. His second touchdown of the game. The Longhorns lead the Cowboys by 10.
Ron, what I was going to say is that Florida State's so good at putting the ball up in the air and let the receivers go up to the jump ball. Andre Cooper, 6'2", we said he was Mr. Basketball, 93. They do a great job of winning the jump balls, but Peter Ford did a nice job winning that one for Clemson.
Yeah, he did. Good defensive play. Busby sets. Pooh Bear Williams out of the backfield. No boos on that one. Pooh is now 285. That's what they list him, and I think maybe a couple of meals over that as he looks a little shaken up on the play out of Crescent City.
They would like to see a little bit more consistency in this offense. A lot more shotgun tonight. You see the total plays. Clemson has dominated this first part of this ball game.
But the defense just bailed them out. Let's see if they can take advantage. Third down, and they need the 44 of Clemson. Pressure up the middle. He's got to be sacked. First time tonight that Clemson has gotten him. Raymond White, number 97, the junior out of Clinton, Mississippi.
Raymond White, number 97, the down defensive lineman's going to come in and make this play. Trevor Price, the transfer from Michigan, was the first man to get to Thad Busby.
Sean List, now he's with the wind. And from here, he was kicking it into the end zone at times in the pregame warm-up. And this one may go. Nope, not going to turn over at the 14-yard line. McLeon, and just shy of the 30-yard line. 12:52 left in this first half. 6-3 Florida State.
Don't let a new car payment be a financial burden. Call 1-800-32-SMART about Smart Lease by GMAC. It's an affordable way to drive off with a new GM vehicle. And it might even give you something you wouldn't mind carrying around.
What's it all about? In a word, fundamentals, basics, win, win, win. It's not just one thing. It's everything. You know how many number ones there are? This many. Hey guys, keep the heat on. Not just today, not just tomorrow, every day. If you're second best, what's the point?
I got a lot accomplished this week.
Thanks to Jimmy's versatility.
Let's see. Hauled the love seat in for reupholstering on Monday.
Thanks to Jimmy's cargo space.
Took the kids to soccer practice Wednesday.
With its spacious interior and luxury ride.
Bought groceries.
You can do a lot in a Jimmy.
And now, a weekend getaway.
Jimmy by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by GMC, putting you comfortably in command, and by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. Cooper just a moment ago, but number 29, Peter Ford, the senior out of Sumter, South Carolina, was up to the task and helped frustrate Florida State again. They lead 6-3 with 12:52 left until halftime. Ford on the sideline. Mike, you can say it every week, but when you are a heavy underdog, as Clemson is in this ball game, the longer you let them stay in it, you know how that happens, and that's the history of this series almost between Clemson and Florida State.
I think the key's been, again, the Clemson play calling. They're keeping Florida State off balance.
See if they can keep it up on this series. Now they go into the win. Pitch is dropped by Priester, and then he's going to pay for it. Vernon Crawford, the first man to get there. And the next truck for 55, that's Raynard Wilson. Edwards was close behind.
Well, Raymond Priester's a power-type back, but he just didn't get the football on this play. Something happened on the pitch. Nealon Green come down the line of scrimmage. There's no place for Nealon to carry that ball. It just went right through the hands of Raymond Priester.
Well, I'll tell you what. It has gotten windier. Our notes almost went out the window.
You fumbled your notes right there, too.
Franklin on the recovery. Second down, big loss. Between 6 and 7 as they go to the draw play, and Priester not much doing. He'll take it to the 23. 45, Henry Crockett makes the stick on him, the senior out of Pompano Beach.
This is the situation you do not want to be in with this Florida State defense. 3rd and over 10, because now you get turnover possibilities, maybe a good draw play or a screen, something to keep it safe so that you don't turn the football over to Florida State.
So 3rd down, and see the conversions. They need to take it out to the 38-yard line. Pressure. Oh, he dropped the football, and I mean James Colsey was about to do just what Coach Gottfried was talking about. Playing possum, broke on the ball perfectly, and able to have the ball inside the 35-yard line.
And when you sprint out, when you're playing against 2 great defensive ends, one you're going to be in the face of, one you're going to run away from. And now 58, Peter Boulware beats the block of Emery Smith. Or no, Kelton Dunnigan, number 32, is able to get in there in the face of Elon Green.
Well, Feaster, we're happy to report, is okay. He's the deep man. And watch Kevin Laird and see if they come after him, particularly Jackson. They're coming after him. And this kick into the wind is just going to die. At the 50-yard line, that punt is going to be around 25 yards. 11-12 left until halftime. We'll go away for a moment. Seminoles by 3, but in good operating position.
I got a lot accomplished this week.
Thanks to Jimmy's versatility.
Let's see. Hauled the left seat in for reupholstering on Monday.
Thanks to Jimmy's cargo space.
Took the kids to soccer practice Wednesday.
With its spacious interior and luxury ride.
Bought groceries.
You can do a lot in a Jimmy.
And now, a weekend getaway.
Jimmy by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
I've been a do-it-yourselfer all my life.
It's the sale do-it-yourselfers live for, the Sears National Hardware Sale.
Craftsman tools have been a part of my work from the beginning.
Add to your Craftsman collection with this 7.2-volt cordless drill, only $59.99. Or a Craftsman 18-inch chainsaw with case and all this, just $159.99.
I've spent a lot of time in a lot of different workshops, and I found the best are always filled with Craftsman.
What do you need for your workshop? The National Hardware Sale at Sears and Sears Hardware stores.
Minnesota's aerial assault takes aim at high-powered Northwestern, led by Darnell Autry. Next Saturday at 12:30, only on ESPN2.
We take a great deal of pride in being the best. Doesn't happen by chance. It's all really about what you're made of. You gotta want it. You gotta really want it. You gotta have that fire. It's the only way. The object of any game is to win. You never, ever, ever settle for second best. Competition's a good thing.
Well, for the second consecutive year, Burger King is proud to recognize outstanding scholar athletes through its $1 million college scholarship program. For 10 weeks this season, Burger King will present $100,000 per week in the name of college football players whose achievements go beyond the field and into the classroom in all 4 NCAA divisions. Tonight's Burger King students of the game are from Clemson, Brad Pope, an economics major with a 3.23 GPA, and from Florida State, Darrell Bush, a business finance major with a 3.85 GPA.
Ron Warwick done. He's only had 2 rushes for 25 yards. This might be a good time to get him the ball to draw.
Well, they faked it to him, Mike. They lopped it over the middle, and the ball is underthrown. Kamari Charlton, the tight end, is who they were looking for, and it was just a little short.
They had him down the middle against 2 deep coverage. Just couldn't, you know, when you hang it up, sometimes those safeties have a chance to break on the ball. And when you throw it like that, that still has to be made a catch. Kamari Charlton has to make that catch.
4 of 10 now for Busby, 62 yards and a touchdown. Here's Dunn, cuts it back up into the middle. Nothing on the outside, and he will wind up as Simmons brings him down with a gain to the 46-yard line.
Where he's dangerous at, and we're talking about Warwick Dunn, is when you spread out the field. In this kind of situation here, a draw or getting the ball to him on the flare pass. And Rock Preston's also in there. He's another good back run that can catch the football on the backfield. So you got two backs that can catch the football on the flare pass.
All right, Mike, you got two backs. You got three wide receivers. You got four. Three. Flags down everywhere. Pass over the middle is, I believe, tipped at the line of scrimmage. I think Trevor Price got a hand on it, number 8. And now let's see what the markers are for. Boy. Bobby Bowden has really got to be upset with all these penalties. The discussion goes on with Clemson. That's the reason for the delay. 6-3 Florida State on top with 10:26 left until halftime. If you have just joined us.
Need to turn down the penalty.
12 men illegally participating on the offense is declined.
That's the reason I asked you if you had a fourth wide receiver out there, because there were too many folks with the two backs.
Obviously, there was one too many, but they still didn't complete the pass. So now they got to punt the football back to Clemson again. 10:26 and still not in sync on offense. One big pass play.
Sean List to get the kick away as he waits back at his own 40-yard line. Joe Woods, number 2, back there in the top of your screen. Oh, this is a great one. Very, very high. Woods runs away from it, and that is about 5 yards deep into the end zone. 65 yards in the air on that punt. Well, ESPN2 Fire on Ice kicks off the season with a great matchup. John Van Briesbroek, who led the Florida Panthers to the Stanley Cup final last year, takes on the New York Rangers, and Wayne Gretzky, who makes his New York debut as a Ranger. The action begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern Time on the Deuce. Great matchup. What about Thad Busby? Wonder what he's hearing.
He's feeling a little pressure. He's hearing footsteps is what he's hearing, because Dan Kendra is just a little bit away from playing. Now, I don't say it's Thad Busby's fault, but Dan Kendra's so talented that he may get in the football game.
Pitch, and boy, what a hit at the 26-yard line. Hammond, one of the first men out there, along with Wilson.
Just enough option in this attack to slow down those defensive linemen and make them play football where you got to have the dive, you got to have the quarterback, and you got to have the pitch man. Make it a thinking man's game out there for the defense. Do not allow them just to put their ears back and rush the passer.
See the total plays, 34 to 15. 10-10 left until halftime. Nealon Green has gone the distance. We didn't know if we'd seen, but see the pass interrupted. Gets it off the Woods and then hit with a head-high tackle. And he was grabbed by the face mask as Deion Humphrey made the play.
Peter Boulware, number 58, the defensive end. You're going to watch tackle. Just try to cut him. Try to get into his feet, get his hands down. Nealon Green trying to throw that quick pass, and there's the end of the play. Deion Humphrey got his hand on the face mask. Florida State has hurt themselves penalty-wise.
Well, see, people say, well, you keep talking about penalties. Only 3 accepted, but they've had 3, maybe 4 that have been turned down.
2 on kick returns if they fumble the football.
First down, Clemson. They own the football at the 31-yard line. Dunnigan tries to get outside, and those Florida State defenders, finally Mario Edwards finishes him off, but they just keep coming. They run so well to the football. They sell out once you commit.
But you have to be impressed with Kelton Dunnigan again, because he was hit about 3 times before they finally brought him down. Sean Key came out of the secondary 16 and finished him off, but Kelton Dunnigan's a back that plays fullback and tailback in this offense.
Dunnigan will
another
go to
big
the
back,
sideline.
210.
In fact, he looks larger than that. Joe Woods coming out to the bottom of your screen. There's 18, Emery Smith back in the lineup, senior from Pensacola. And number 27, Raymond Priestley. Faked it to Priestett. Drive complete. Tony Horn. Ball is loose, and they say incomplete at the 42-yard line. Clemson wanted a completion and then down.
Again, Ron, what's happening is the play-action fake is holding that corner out there. Tony Horn, number 7, in between the corner and the safety now. Sean Key's coming over, and that's a good call. Don't you think it was? I think he had the ball knocked out. I don't think he had the ball.
Well, maybe you're right. If anything, it certainly would not have been a fumble because the ground. Oh, look at this. Bowden's got the headsets back.
Well, he's not talking about defense right now either. He's talking offense. Mark Richt.
We'll talk more about that when Florida State gets on offense. Green locks his pass, got his man open. Cooks was there, and he overthrew. Wow. Brian Capers was trying to cover number 23, but he was out there.
You talk about open. He was wide open. Kenyon Crooks, who ran the stadium steps every day, 4 days a week to try to stay in great shape for this season's wide open on the outside. But Malon Green just can't get him the football. Byron Capers, I think, busted the coverage.
So Laird kicking into the wind again. Good one, though. He'll get the spiral to turnover. This is Feaster with a fair catch and makes it at the 29. So we'll take a break. 8:34 until halftime. And you look at that defense for the Seminoles. 6-3. We'll be right back.
It's coming. Something so big, it will change the way you shop forever. It's the big event at World Hi-Fi Mega Store Plus.
A Zenith 13-inch cable-ready color TV with sleep timer and earphone jack. Only $129.
There has never been a sale this big before. The big event, now at World Hi-Fi Mega Store Plus. Big, and it's just 99 cents. The Big Cheese. A quarter pound of beef topped with cheese on a toasted bun. Just 99 cents. This deal won't last long, so drive through Central Park today.
You get more for your money when you drive through Central Park.
Invitational is one of the great events, but these special caddy uniforms tend to get a bit warm, and it's really hard tracking shots with these shades, and the medallion, forget it.
There are enough things in your life you have to wait for. Your sports news shouldn't be one of them. ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
Well, 1989, Danny Ford at Clemson came to Tallahassee. 14 future NFL players on their roster. Terry Allen ran for 130 yards. Wayne Simmons went over 70 yards on this interception, and it gave the Tigers the 34-23 win. And, folks, that's the only time in 13 years that a team from outside Florida has won in Tallahassee. In fact, look at the numbers since that night. 24-0-1 in the last 25 games. Second longest current home unbeaten streak. Pretty impressive, Michael.
Very impressive.
So let's see if Thad Busby can crank him up again. This is Rock Preston. Tackled by Brad Pope. It was one of our scholar athletes at the 34.
And who led the blocking? Ward Dunn, number 28. Was the lead blocker for Rock Preston. That's the thing when you talk to other teams' coaches. They respect Ward Dunn so much because he does everything that you want out of a back. He's blocking, he's catching the football, he's running it. Just so much of a team player.
Second down, flares it out to Dunn. Gets by, nope, won't get by the tackler Simmons, and he's being spun around, and now let's see where they're going to mark him down. Simmons, as we mentioned, the National UPI Freshman of the Year, leads the team in tackles coming into this ball game with 39 and 3 sacks.
Mark Richt says he's a young Ray Lewis, a Miami-type linebacker. Here's the catch by Ward Dunn. Just a good tackle by Anthony Simmons. Just would not let Ward Dunn away. Warwick would like to have a tearaway jersey if it was legal.
Third down, and they need to take it to the 39-yard line to keep the drive going. Blitz is on. pass is caught by Cooper. Let's see. Is that enough for the first down? Ford on the tackle. And it would appear that by a yard, he will have it.
First down, Florida State.
Andre Cooper knows where those sticks are. He knows what he has to get for a first down. He just sits out there. He's an outlet receiver.
They have snapped the ball, and Clemson was not ready. Sorry, Mike. They ran a quick offense, and they throw it complete to Green, and he's going to take it for the touch. They caught Clemson napping, and they were nowhere set.
That's the problem when you're facing a team that's no huddle and you can set the tempo any way they want to.
And this time, good pass from center. Bentley's kick is right down there. Green got behind him. Clemson down 13-3.
Okay, driving lesson number 1. Tap the brake lightly.
Right.
Keep your eyes on the road! Sorry. Okay, now, don't be nervous. It's only our lives.
Kelly Springfield tires are designed to go a long way, and we've got the warranties to prove it. So go.
Very good. Thank you. I think you're ready for the real test. Mall traffic.
Cool.
Get every mile you can out of life.
So I could drop you off at home for...
Oh, no.
In the game of politics, choosing a candidate can be a difficult move. That's because candidates make lots of promises. Promises, promises, promises. So, who will you choose? Her. Good choice, because she has an ice-cold Miller Lite, which makes only one promise: great taste. Join the party. Choose Miller Lite. Life is good. And when you vote, life is really good.
We should use this song in the movie.
What movie? This is a movie me and Lil did, we're playing cops.
Renegade cops, loose cannons.
What part of the word undercover do you clowns not understand? Besides, it was a setup. As soon as the game ended, everything was crazy.
It was Britain's fault. I was just discussing a community
well,
watch
I'm taking
program.
you both off the case immediately. Get your feet off the desk. It's called double action, and it's going to be real cool. Sounds cool.
The Academy don't recognize this. We got a problem.
13-3, Thad Busby now breathing a little easier. Mike, we just heard on the sideline say the same thing we were trying to inquire about during the break. I just heard one of the defensive players say they had only 2 defensive linemen halfway ready to go.
Yeah, they got caught. When you go no huddle defensively, you got to be alert all the time.
In the shotgun, 5 of 7, 2 touchdowns. Under center, 2 of 6.
Thad Busby gets a better look in the shotgun. He's more comfortable in the shotgun. You can just see it. And I think you're going to see more and more shotgun out of Florida State the rest of the season.
Woods and Horn. Horn to the near side, number 7, preparing to take this kick. Well, with the wind, though, he'll hammer it out of the back of the end zone. And Mike Tirico, let's go back to you. What do you got for us now?
Ron, scary moment in the Georgia-Mississippi State game. Georgia leads 17-7. The pass from Mike Bobo to Juan Daniels, who gets hit by Dwayne Curry, the Butkus candidate. Daniels was unconscious for several minutes, but has regained consciousness and has feeling in all limbs. We'll keep you updated.
Okay, that is indeed good news. Our situation, just under 7 minutes to play until halftime. Florida State has tallied again. They're now on top 13-6. Been quite a night for E.G. Green. Green with the option. Back into the boundary. There's not going to be anything there. In fact, they're going to lose a yard as Henry Crockett, number 45, is there to knock him down, the senior out of Pompano Beach.
Well, when Henry Crockett started the season, he was 250, and they told him, Chuck Amato, the defensive linebacker coach, said get down to 235. His brother Zach, who used to play here, got on him also. Bobby Bowden said he used to come in my office all the time and say, why am I not playing? And Bobby said, you need to work. He said, someday you're going to be a pro, and all those guys working, starting ahead of you are going to be pharmacy guys. But right now, you're not working enough.
He was one of the top players coming out of high school. A big play man, number 45. Blitz in the middle. It is caught by Horn. Good second effort, and with that, he may have picked up the first down. I think he did, as Robert Hammond, along with Samari Roll, teamed up on the tackle.
Nealon Green has had a great first half. He really has done the little things that he needs to do to be successful for this offense. Going to snap the ball, and he's going to, in this shotgun, going to find Tony Horn, who's just sitting down in zone coverage, and there's the second effort you were talking about, Ron.
See, he gets by this one right here. Otherwise, they're punting into the wind. And he keeps his knees off the ground and dives just beyond the point of the first down.
Nealon, 11 out of 20. Good key throws against a very, very tough defense.
Back to the open side. Pitch back to Priester. Looks for a block. Smith gets it for him. He'll have 5 yards as Vernon Crawford, 47, is riding him out of bounds. Vernon, one of the emotional leaders on that defensive team. Here's a good look at Embry. I mentioned his paving block.
Yeah, you talk about all the great backs in this league. Ward Gunn, you talk about Tiki Barber. Last week we had him, C.J. Williams, Georgia Tech. Raymond Priester's one of them also, but he's the type of back, like Tommy West said, he's going to get you 5-7 yards of carry. He's not going to break a lot of them for the distance, but he's going to wear out a defense.
Well, he'll earn his stripes tonight. 10 rushes, 10 yards. You see the average, but that's what the Seminole defense can do to you. Dunnigan, they bring him in at fullback, and I tell you, he's going to have the first down. He's out over the 40.
Here's the thinking of Daryl Moody, the offensive coordinator right now. I do not want to abandon my play calling, my game plan. Tommy West came in here with a game plan of trying to control the clock, keep the ball away from the offense, and do safe things on offense. It's 5:52 on the clock. They've done a nice job. They're down only 10 points. There's no sense in leaving the game plan.
11-5 and first down. Might keep an eye on Bullware. Right defensive end, the 58. He went back to the defensive huddle. I thought he was shaken up a little bit. He's still in there. Draw play, they ran it right in that direction, and Priester hit by Henry Crockett short of the 45. And a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Wow. As you talked about, you want to pick up 4+ on first down against a defense like this. You certainly don't want to start with a 1st and 20.
And then probably the hold's going to be on Jim Bundren, number 79, against Peter Bower. You were talking about maybe him being hurt a little bit. I think this is going to be the hold call. There's number 79. Yeah, he's got a hold of Jim Bundren's got a hold of Peter Bower and just tackles him. That's another way to keep him off pass rush and making plays. Hold him all day. But Jim Bundren's done a nice job.
Look at this. That's the first penalty that was accepted. We had offsetting a while ago, but the first penalty against Clemson accepted tonight. Boy, they're going to take this thing a long way as they scrimmage from the 29. They're going to take it just across midfield to the Florida State 49. Bullware, and he got him to flinch, I believe. That was Vernon Crawford who came in. But Bullware was jumping around on the far side, and Bundren may have come out of his stance. See? And he pointed. And that's exactly right. Bundren flinched just a little. And Jim is a very, very good tackle. But when you're playing against a guy who is that strong and that quick, that you just got to get every advantage, and that's the reason he flinched.
You're right. You need to get out of your stance quick, and Peter Bower is such a quick first step that he forces tackles into trying to retreat.
Now he's on the other side, working against 70 Holland Postel.
And you see how they widen their stances. The longer the yardage, the wider they go. Peter Bower making it tougher on those tackles.
And with that, Clemson undoubtedly didn't like what they saw, so they're going to call a timeout at the 5:18 mark, and we'll hold it right here. Kellen Winslow, let's check in with you on the sideline.
Well, Ron, I'm down here on the sideline with a young man who knows a little bit about playing quarterback at this university. Casey Weldon now with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Casey, your impressions of the young man Thad Busby tonight?
Thad's doing it tonight. You know, he's finally settling in a little bit. It takes time. You wait so long to play. You know, you do your time here and you finally get it. You're a little anxious, but tonight he looks like he's a little bit settled in and playing well.
Quarterbacks in their first 3 games, their first career starts, you're the highest rated with a passing percentage of 63%. Right now, Thad's in that 58% category. And of course, with Charlie Ward and Cannell, they've had good years also. How difficult is it for those first 3 starts for you?
It's a lot of expectations. You know, the fans expect you to score as many points as the guy that you're replacing right away. And it's fun, you know, and I guess that's great. I actually beat Charlie in something that's hard to believe, but it's good, though. But Thad's going to set some records here and do well.
Right now, your career, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're sitting behind a pretty good quarterback, looking for your chance to get a start?
Oh, yeah, waiting. Longer than I waited here. It's tough.
Okay, Ron, back up to you.
Okay, thanks a million. Casey Weldon, one of the really nice guys. Good quarterback here. Straight ahead on the run as Henry Crockett will put the stop on Priester. Tampa needs to give him a try now. I mean, he can make things happen. He was a good quarterback here. I think he can be a good quarterback in the pros, Mike.
I haven't seen the NFL games. I don't know what's going on there, but he was an excellent college quarterback here for Bobby Bowden. Won a lot of games, made a lot of big plays.
And he makes a super point. The fans' expectations here sometimes are unbelievable. They're too high.
They're high here. They're high all over the country.
Second down. They need the Florida State 49-yard line. Florida State even comes with a blitz. Pass is on the way. Double coverage, nothing doing. Crooks is who he wanted, but Smith and Capers combining on the defensive play. Now it's third down. You try to throw again, or do you run a safe play?
I just safe play and punt the football. Here's Peter Boulware again. Or no, it's Renard Wilson against Jim Bunder. Now he does a better job. He's able to get his hands on Renard Wilson. Renard Wilson's a 520-pound bench pressure, has a lot of strength, but Jim Bundren is able to get his hands into the jersey of Renard Wilson and controlling.
So here's the telling situation. They'd love to pick up this first down, but also they don't want to do anything stupid. Florida State showed blitz, but they stay at home. In fact, they drop back in zone coverage, and Darrell Bush comes across from that middle linebacking spot to snuff out that play at the 35. And the Seminoles should get the ball in decent field position with plenty of time.
The reason I answered you like that, Ron, was because of the defense. Because they're right there. Number 58, Peter Boulware and Renard Wilson. You're trying to pick up 22 yards. You've got to have a pass play down the field, so it's going to take a little longer. That's not the time to throw it. It's time to throw it is first down or short yardage situations. That's when you want to throw your deeper passes against this defense.
37, Kevin Laird waits for the snap back at his own 21. And Feaster is back deep. This spiral's going to turn over. Nice kick into the wind. Very nice. Feaster all the way back to the 18. Gets one block. Does not get a second. And he is going to be stopped for a loss at the 13-yard line. Well, ESPN has the best in college football next Saturday at 12:30. Purdue will take on Penn State. Then at 7 o'clock, Peyton Manning and Tennessee go between the hedges. They'll be fired up against the Georgia Bulldogs. But first, start the college game day, 11:30 a.m. Then the Residence Inn scoreboard show, 3:30, and again at 10. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Kellen Winslow coming to you from Tallahassee. We have 3:35 to play until halftime. Running play, good second effort by Dunn. As Anthony Simmons was just all over here.
Another good tackle by Simmons, number 41. Able to get a hold of the jersey of Ward Dunn, not allow him to go any further.
7 of 14, 50%, 125. 2 touchdowns as Abdullah comes in at the fullback, number 32. Green comes out. You can see big number 70, Trey Thomas, in the ball game at right tackle. 6'8", 330. He's a junior. Hit as the ball is thrown and almost picked off. And I'll tell you, Andy Ford goes for a touchdown if the receiver doesn't turn into a defensive back.
Yeah, Andre Cooper reached out and really kind of grabbed Andy Ford. That was a poor thrown ball that Thad Busby's going to get away with. Just took too long to throw it again. Going to watch a play-action fake to Warwick Dunn. Now he's looking down the middle of the field. Now all of a sudden he tries to go outside to Andre Cooper. Andy Ford, number 43, is going to step inside. Now watch Cooper reach his arm in there and just kind of reach in and grab a hold of Andy Ford and deflect that football.
Raymond White, give him credit. He was the one who was draped all over Thad Busby. Busby is going to go for everything. Caught at the 35 by Peter Warrick.
Third and long yardage. Bobby Bowden's done it so many times. Just throw the ball in the post pattern, put it up, and you got Peter Warrick, number 9, who's a freshman, 6 foot, 190. Watch this catch. He's working against Andy Ford, gives him a move, gets him turned around. Now watch him stretch out and make this catch.
50 yards.
Great concentration by Peter Warrick.
Freshman out of Bradenton, Florida. Blitz is on. Pass is caught by Cooper. Still in bounds and then knocked out of bounds after he picked up 4, maybe 5 more. Adrian Dingle bumped him out.
Ron, I keep saying this, but the reason Thad Busby is able to throw the ball to the outside and throw the post is because Clemson is so conscious of Warwick Dunn, they're not going to let him beat him. They're going to get their receivers one-on-one on the outside. You see Andre Cooper wide open against Peter Ford. That's the reason they're open. They're open because the Clemson defensive strategy stopped Warwick Dunn.
Messam to the top of your screen. That's Coop to the bottom, number 1. Busby going to be wrapped up by Adrian Dingle.
Where the inexperience shows a little bit. He needs to throw that football away. There was nothing open. There was no way to run the football. He's got to throw it away.
Back of the end zone. You're right.
Thad Busby's going to fake the ball and come out this way. Fake to Warwick Dunn. Now he comes outside. He really doesn't. There's no one really open. See the good coverage. Now he needs to throw that ball away, as Ron said, out the back of the end zone rather than take the sack. Now here's where you might have one of those jump balls. Throw it up in the corner.
Look for the athlete. Second down, play action again. That's exactly what he's going to do. Puts it up for Cooper. Crowd in that corner of the end zone thought that there was a collision with Peter Ford before the ball got there. But the official says no, and he was a lot closer than they were.
I think it was a good no call because I think they got their feet mixed up. Peter Ford, 29, against Andre Cooper. Just throwing the ball in the corner. Going to go for the jump ball. Can't see the feet, but Peter Ford's foot and Andre Cooper, they get mixed up. I think it's a good no call by the officials.
I do too. 1:26 left until halftime.
He's going to let the clock run down and take a timeout.
So the timeout has been called. And Mike Tirico, let's check in with you.
Ron, a reminder, coming up, it's the GMAC halftime report. Among our stories, the upsets. Some teams in the top 20 went on the road and are coming back home with their first loss of the season. We started the day with 17 unbeatens in 1A. 5 of them knocked off. We'll tell you who they were. And the baseball stories. All 4 series in action. 3 of them came to an end. The highlights and the details when we see you for the GMAC halftime report.
So Bobby Bowden looking around here. His fans trying to intimidate the officials a little bit, but it won't do any good. It is going to be a third down situation for Florida State. They need to take it down to the 6-yard line. Season 130 per game. Busby tonight 194, and he and E.G. Green have been a great combination. Then toss in the 50-yarder to Peter Warrick, and also a couple of nice catches by Andre Cooper And we go back to the point we made at the starting lineups. They can go 6 deep and not lose any talent. Everyone has their own particular attribute.
They really do, Ron. They have so much skill and so much speed, and that's one of the problems. They can't get the football around to all the players. They've got backup tailbacks that are excellent. Backup receivers are great. They have tight ends like Melvin Pearsall who could be playing for anybody in the country. He can't even get on the field because they're playing 3 or 4 wide receivers.
So let's see what the Noles come up with. 3rd down. And about 17.
Ron, you got E.J. Green and Andre Cooper on the same side, so I would expect some kind of corner route out of E.J. Green.
Good protection right over the middle. Touchdown, Florida State. Warwick Dunn. Well, they concentrated on all those receivers we talked about, and they forgot, for once, little number 28, as Bentley knocks home the extra point, and Florida State, with that big stop for the defense, takes it over. There's still 1:19 showing on the clock, and all of a sudden, they're on top 20-3.
Ron, they caught him in 2 deep coverage. Talked about E.J. Green. He's out here on the side, but you see a safety here, and there's a safety over here. And that Warwick Dunn is going to get down the middle of the field against a backer. Right there, linebacker's going to try to cover. Watch number 28 come out of the backfield now against the linebacker. There's no help from the safeties because E.J. Green was running the corner route on the other side. Anthony Simmons trying to cover him. That's a mismatch. Look at Warwick Dunn's eyes. As he comes out, now he makes the move, gets away from Simmons. Simmons tries to hold him. There's no safety help because they were taken out by the wide receivers.
Well, this young man, we talked to him yesterday, and he knows that he knows he can do the job. He just hasn't had as many starts as some other people who have been great here. The fans are terribly impatient. They expect this football team to be superb every year. And he's had a lot on him, and that's the reason for the reaction by him.
Well, he's waited his time, Ron, and that's the whole idea here. Quarterbacks, they've waited their time, and when it's their time to play, they expect to play. And they need to have more consistency in their offense, but they're not able to run because people are not allowing them to run. They're going to say throw the football all year.
Kick coming down at the 4-yard line. Joe Wood. Oh, what a hit. He will not make it to the 20. Capers one of the first men down. Now his numbers 10 of 19, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now they're going to jump well below 75 offensively if this game continues to go this way.
Well, they will, and Clemson's going to have to maybe change up a little bit to try to get some help with the wide receivers, and then that'll open up the running game a little bit in the second half.
Simmons shakes his head, and he feels responsible, which he was, but well, that's a tough match to have to go step for step with him.
He was on an island with a speedster.
Speedster's going to take it for about a 4-yard gain. Coming up on the GMAC halftime report with Mike Tirico, Northwestern deja vu, Buckeye domination, and Major League Baseball playoff updates. All of that and more on the GMAC halftime report. Warwick Dunn.
Said he thought about coming out pro football. He talked to Dion. He said go, but Charlie Ward told him to stay, and he said, you know, I've been poor for 21 years. What's another year going to matter? But he's a patient young guy.
Pitch back on the option. Brewster going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. 58 Boulware, and then Raynard Wilson will finish him off. A lot of garnet and gold over there on the sideline.
Ron, Florida State still has 2 timeouts left. Now, I wouldn't expect with that clock stopped right here that they may use a timeout after this 3rd down play to force the punt because they're such a good team on blocking punts. Raynard Wilson pursuing. He just never stops. Just going to take him out of bounds. Raymond Priester and stop that clock. That was big now. 27 seconds to go. They can stop. They can force Clemson into punting this football.
Third down. Clemson needs about 8 yards for the first.
They stop it. Oh. They stop him here. I'd expect a quick timeout.
So Clemson calls a timeout. 27 seconds left until halftime. And the chess match, and remember this, the other point that Mike is making, that wind is very stiff, and in fact it is up again. If they do have to punt, you can't kick it too terribly far. In fact, Freddie, what was that last punt that they had? I believe 25 yards, wasn't it? The flags on top of the goalpost don't really give you a feeling, but I mean, we're sitting here in the booth. Everybody's got a hand on every piece of paper they want to hold on to, because if you don't, it'll be in the keys in just a very short period of time.
Ron, this is a beautiful stadium right here. They've done a great job. It was started by Bob Doyne. He was the athletic director here, and Dave Hart, who I think is probably one of the top 3-4 athletic directors in the country, has finished us off, and they just have everything going in their right direction here at Florida State.
Let's go down and check in with Kellen Winslow quickly. Kellen?
Well, Ron and Mike, I'm here with another FSU alum, the great Derek Brooks, 3-time football All-American, 2-time academic All-American. Compare this defense now with the one you played on.
Well, they're pretty much similar. They're doing a lot more attacking this year, similar to what we did at 9-3. And the big thing is they're getting the same type of turnovers that we got back in 9-3 when we won the championship.
Very good to see you again. Good luck.
Lamont Green makes the hit, and now your point. They call the timeout, 21 seconds
and
left.
They're going to make them punt this football. And you set up early in the ball game about Florida State's special teams and punt blocking, so they've got an excellent chance here to go after a punt.
So there's the guy. He had 2 against North Carolina last week.
And I would say this is definitely going to be a punt rush. And Clemson's going to meet on their sideline to discuss how to block this thing, because they know how special teams can turn this thing. Chuck Amato right there, he's talking about what type of defense they're going to be in to try to block this punt.
Now they blocked 4 kicks this season, 3 punts and 1 field goal. That's pretty doggone good, as this is only their 4th game.
And it's a complete ball club. When you're good on offense, and they've got weapons like Warwick Dunn and E.G. Green and Cooper, and Thad Busby's having a pretty good night, good on defense, and then you apply pressure in the kicking game to the other team. I mean, it's like a Kentucky basketball where they're pressing you all the time and throwing up the 3-pointers, where they're pressuring you the whole ball game. That's what Florida State does in football.
Watch number 11. In fact, watch that entire front. Kevin Laird just wants to get a good snap and get it out of dodge. They got the return on. Kick is being held up for the win. Feaster at the 46 fumbled it momentarily and went down on one knee to secure it. So there are 13 seconds left on the clock.
And now what you want to do, Ron, is just take one shot, try to get the ball down the field and get a field goal. You still got 1 timeout left with the 13 seconds. What coaches do in the pregame warm-up is they'll time the punter. And if they feel like that he's punting it slow in the warm-up, then they'll go after him. They may feel like the Clemson punter is punting it on quick time right now, so that the best thing they have is the return.
The return, yeah.
Hold up and then try to return the kick.
Kevin Long comes out over the football. Junior rather, out of Summerville, South Carolina. Big game as far as he's concerned. Busby sets in the pocket under pressure from Price. Now goes long. Hail Mary, as it were, tipped and caught by Florida State. 2 seconds showing on the clock. It's at the 12-yard line.
And they're going to use their timeout, and they're going to get a field goal. Wise use of timeouts by Bobby Bowden and his staff. They're going to get a chance for a field goal right here.
E.G. Green. Boy, what a game he's had tonight.
Ron, he went up and made that catch. It was a deflection, but again, a great use of timeouts by a coaching staff.
E.G. Green now with 3 catches, 2 for touchdowns.
What you teach in this play is just for a deflection. You got all your receivers going up. You look for the deflection. E.G. Green was able to get it. Dexter McLean went up for the Clemson number 9. There's the ball tipped. E.G. Green recovers that. Makes that reception, and we'll see what the fans are booing about here.
Scott Bentley trying to make this a 20-point ball game at halftime. Scott, of course, much heralded. Now a senior out of Aurora, Colorado.
He was the quarterback in the spring game. Both quarterbacks were hurt, Thad Busby and Dan Kendra. He's such a good athlete. He finished up as quarterback in the spring game.
He's really beefed up a lot. You can tell he's been in the weight room. Good pass. Ball is down, and he is no good. Off to the right and no good, and we are at halftime. So that's the end of the first half with the score, Florida State 20 and Clemson 3. Now let's join Mike Tirico with the GMAC halftime report. Mike?
Okay, guys, let's see if that gives Clemson any momentum. They really dodged a bullet there and caught a break. Those 3 points for Clemson, their first ACC points scored in Tallahassee. Coming up, it is the GMAC halftime report. Great day at college football. You may have been paying attention to the baseball, but there were some terrific games, and the gang is still there in Columbus. We'll check on the big game of the day. Hey, Chris, how you doing? We'll get to you guys in a couple of minutes at the half.
At a halftime, off the top of the telecast, we talked about they were not happy with the offense here. Mike, there are more smiles than if they had said school was out on Monday. Busby, 259 first-half passing yards.
Ron, it's all been big plays, though. Clemson's done a nice job stopping the run. There's only 20 yards rushing for Florida State. But when you look at this chart, the deep throw, they've had a throw of 60 yards, they've had a 59-yard, and they've had a 42-yard pass play. So they've had 3 pass plays, 152 of the 279 yards passing. So it's been a big play half. Here's a pass to E.J. Green that caught kind of Clemson sleeping a little bit on defense. They went on a quick count. Peter Warwick, a good-looking freshman, is going to stretch out and make this catch. 50 yards over the middle. Warwick Dunn against 2 deep coverage. Trying to be covered by a linebacker, Simmons, wide open for the touchdown.
So in that first half, a lot of different individuals for Florida State, and as we talked about in the first half, they have a lot of individuals who can do damage to you. But E.G. Green with the huge first half, over 130 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. This kick going to be taken by Warwick at the 9. 30, 35, and pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. So let's check the buzz in the first half. 11 of 20, 259 yards, and the 3 touchdowns. E.G. Green with 2 of the touches, and Warwick Dunn caught the other with the isolation over the middle.
And Ron, he's had a pretty good first half. Again, the strategy of Clemson, stop Warwick Dunn. So Thad Busby's been able to take advantage of that with Andre Cooper, E.J. Green, Peter Warwick on the outside.
Dunn. Oh, he gets hit very hard. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. That's Simmons and White. And Kellen Winslow, let's check in with you.
Gentlemen, I just finished talking with Coach Bowden about his offense in the second half here. He says he's not going to do anything differently. They're going to come out, throw the ball. He wishes they can get the ball to Warwick Dunn more, but they're doing a great job, Clemson that is, in stopping Warwick Dunn.
Well, they have. You see the numbers, 5 of 32 receptions, 1 touchdown tonight. He's got it this time. 5, close to 10 yards, out to the 45. Howard Bartley is holding on to him, a sophomore out of Decatur.
But just talking about Kellen, what Kellen said is they have stopped Warwick Dunn's rushing attempts tonight because they bottled it up with 7 in the box, but that's why you get the big pass plays to E.G. Green, Andre Cooper on the outside. So you got to give something to take something, and what Florida State's doing tonight is taking what's there.
So Dunn with a couple of carries to open the second half. They have a 3rd down, and they need a couple. Three straight carries. Price misses him, and he's off. 40, 35, down to the 32-yard line. Antoine Edwards makes the tackle, and Melvin Pearsall, you saw number 81 with an outstanding block.
And Ron, here's why Bobby Bowden wants to establish the running game, because when you live on big plays, sometimes you're not going to get those big plays, especially next week. They're going to play a Miami team that's going to match up a little bit better in the secondary, so that's why he wants to get Warwick Dunn and the running game going in the second half. What a great back.
Now, Dunn, 185 pounds, and you could see two pretty good-sized fellows get a hat and a shoulder pad on him, but he couldn't bring him down. Busby hit as he throws the pass, and it was Price, second time tonight that he has gotten a hand on it.
We talked about Trevor Price. He transferred from Michigan, and Clemson and Florida were his second and third choices out of high school. So when he decided to transfer, he just didn't like the location where he was at, wanted to go south, picked Clemson. Very happy here. They're moving him around in the front four tonight, just trying to find a match where he can match up best against one of these linemen, get some pressure on Thad Busby.
Now, for people at home saying, why is a big defensive lineman wearing number 8, as you see him almost jump outside? He said he thinks that single number makes him look faster, Mike.
It also gives you a little bit of a target because those guys start offensive linemen like those number 8s. Of course, they don't like one that's 6'6" and 278 pounds behind it.
Abdullah, the ball carrier, the sophomore out of Davie, Florida. Handles it. Play whistle back in is again Florida State continues to no huddle. Work Preston in.
Here's the set that's the toughest one, I think, for Clemson to defend because now you got Rock Preston in there and Warwick Dunn. So you've got both the backs coming out of the backfield, great receivers. Then you got 3 receivers pressing you downfield.
And this time they only got 11 on the field. Last time they tried it, they had 12. Throws the pass, complete. Simmons made the hit, but Green loses the football. Now, was he down, or is it touchback?
You know, we criticize the officials every now and then, but the only thing that I can see is sometimes they're not quick enough to make the call or move a little bit too slow sometimes. Like there was a little indecision there.
Well, it's going to be a procedure call against Florida State. The main thing that you want him to do is point to the ground, which says, no, he's down here. That lets you know that play's over, that the fumble, there was no fumble.
Here's E.G. Green moving. It's pulled by the jersey, and
Bartley is the one. Bartley is the one who yanked it loose. Raymond Price or Raymond White.
And Tommy West
in the end zone.
Tommy West thinks it was out a little bit too quick too, but it's still coming back.
So the penalty stepped off, back to the 32-yard line, erased the reception. I mean, Simmons really put a lick on Thad Busby as the ball was delivered, as they had both backers in the middle coming.
Anthony Simmons has played a good game for Clemson on defense. Outstanding linebacker prospect. .25-second clock, I think, maybe started prematurely.
Tried to set up the screen, and he waited too long, and Rock Preston just got eaten up. Tony Planton, number 96.
Tony Planton was playing the call from the start. Really, there's no place for Thad Busby to throw the football. You're going to see him set the screen up right out here on this side to Rock Preston, but watch the defense. Tony Planton, number 96, they read it right away, and that's why he was slow to deliver because there's too many Clemson jerseys out there.
Sean Liss waiting for the snap back at the 48. End over end, and it goes into the end zone. 10:54 left in the third quarter. Florida State by 17.
Do you want the real truth about the leading candidate? The City Sentinel writes, this candidate has the biggest mouth we've ever seen. The Daily Times writes, the one candidate that's openly for sale. And the Weekly Contributor says, the only candidate with truly great taste. Introducing the Miller Lite Big Mouth Can. It's the only Big Mouth can you can buy. No long-winded speeches, just easy pouring, great taste. Join the party. Choose Miller Lite. Life is good. And when you vote, life is really good.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Exceptional quality and value. That's 88 by Oldsmobile. J.D. Power and Associates' best premium midsize car in initial quality. For a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s. And with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. 88 by Oldsmobile. The time to buy is now. The Value Drive is on. See your Oldsmobile retailer today.
Take a stroll down memory lane at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
You crushed my knee. Was your toes. You broke my ribs.
It was your nose.
Ah, yes. I remember it well. You sacked me once.
I sacked you twice.
In pouring rain.
No, it was nice.
Ah, yes.
But when you go, don't forget your Visa card, because the Hall takes the NFL's best, but not American Express.
See ya, Nitschke.
It's buckets.
Ah, yes.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. And by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailers. Ron Franklin with Mike Gottfried and Kellen Winslow, Tallahassee, Florida, on a cool and breezy night. Temperature in the 60s here in the northern part of Florida. And early going third quarter as we take a look at Nalon Green coming back out. Gutsy performance as he injured a leg last week. 11 of 21, 99 yards in the first half. Throws this pass into the ground. His Horn is who he wanted. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael?
Ron, we told you that Washington-Stanford game was tight. This McDonald's breakaway takes us to Seattle, where Brock Feuer comes in to replace Shane Fortney. Throws a 16-yard touchdown pass to Jerome Pathon. Washington up 7, and they have the ball at the Stanford 2.
You know, Washington has had their share of left-handed quarterbacks, haven't they? More than most schools.
He looks like a pretty good passer.
Yeah. 58, Peter Boulware. Working against big 79, Jim Bundren. Quick pass out in the flat. It's a quick screen again. And Clemson's going to pick up 4, almost 5, as Bush and Crawford combine on the stop on Brian Wofford.
Renard Wilson again in there to pressure Nalon Green and got the hands up and almost deflected that ball. You know they're thinking sack all the time. There's the good athlete, Renard Wilson, number 55. His linebacker out of high school came in here 215 with a weight room. He's beefed up now. He's at 255, and he is quick on that first step.
2 of 10 tonight, only 20% on third down. They need the 30-yard line. Flag is down. They may have a free play as Green runs for the first down. Let's see where they mark him. I believe Florida State was offsides.
Stop is made by number 45.
Mike, I couldn't tell because of the player standing in front. I think it was just a tad short, right? So they take the penalty and then wind up with a third.
Well, it was 3rd and 5, but you're not sure how close that is. Whether it is a first down or not, they're going to take a look at it.
You can hear the conversation. It's going to be about a foot short if they take the penalty, but they get the down over. The wind really howling here in the second half. If you hear that rumbling sound up here.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
It looked as though Boulware came just a half step quick.
Tried to get a jump, quick jump on the play. Maybe got his helmet offside. figure it's going to be Emery Smith here.
You're right. The powerful fullback out of Pensacola takes it straight ahead. He'll have the Clemson first down.
Wore his brother Emmett's number in high school at 22, but it wasn't available at Clemson, so he chose 18 for Tommy West.
And he had a good ball game in this one last year up in Death Valley. This time he's a blocker, though. Priester goes at left guard. You can see 58 Bullware. Vernon Crawford, 47 down at the bottom of that pile. And also 45 Henry Crockett.
You know, Butch Davis and his Miami coaching staff is watching this football game tonight. They've got that big ball game in Miami next week, and that's one of the roadblocks for this Florida State football team. When you look at their schedule, they really have about 2, maybe 3 roadblocks to go undefeated, and one of them will be next week.
Might they only have to lead the state of Florida one more time. That's the game up in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. Second down, play action. He got to run for his life, and he just throws it away. And here comes the flag. Tommy West is out on the field. He says no, as Wadsworth was all over him, putting on pressure.
Pressure by number 85, Andre Wadsworth.
Intentional grounding was called. There was a receiver in the area. Disregard the flag.
Andre Wadsworth, number 85, is going to put pressure on Nealon Green. He was a walk-on here, 6'1", 220 out of Miami. No one wanted him in college football. He walked on here at Florida State and probably be a #1 draft choice in the pros. Shows you how many athletes are in Miami in high school football.
From the shotgun, there's that shovel pass again. Priester breaks the tackle and is going to be shy of the 40-yard line. Henry Crockett. Also, Greg Spires came over to help out. And as the punt team comes on, quickly a couple of injury reports. Linebacker Darrell Bush had 5 stitches on the bridge of his nose, and he will play in the second half. And fullback Pooh Bear Williams sprained the right ankle. He will not be back in the second half. Feaster is back deep. Feaster had his bell rung on his first return tonight, but obviously okay and back in the lineup. Kick won't turn over, but Feaster makes the catch at the 27-yard line and will take a break. 7:54 to play in the third. Seminoles by 17.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Exceptional quality and value. That's 88 by Oldsmobile. J.D. Power and Associates' best premium midsize car in initial quality. For a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s. And with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. 88 by Oldsmobile. The time to buy is now. The Value Drive is on. See your Oldsmobile retailer today.
A long time ago, someone said, "I'm better than you." Warriors collide. They meet in the air, on the ground, under piles. Enter a guy named Madden. Suddenly, players sweat more, look hungrier, get dirtier. His raw genius is everywhere. Tackles become hits. Front lines become trenches. Every inch a mile. Every bomb atomic. Plays are bigger than mouths, and they're barking. I'm better than you, and I can prove it. Madden NFL 97. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
If you're looking for America's most trusted name in batteries, it should be comforting to know that Die Hard can now be found in over 1,200 additional locations. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
Drive your car with confidence this summer and save $10 on the best Die Hard you can buy. That's right. Now you can get America's most trusted name in batteries, the Die Hard Gold, for just $69.99. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
Peyton Manning and the Volunteers travel down to Georgia to battle the Bulldogs in an SEC clash. Tennessee, Georgia, next Saturday at 7, only on ESPN.
Well, as you look down into the defensive huddle, Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, on the right with the glasses. A lot more smiles from him this year, and from what you've seen in this ball game already tonight, you understand why. Mark Richt wants to smile the same way, the offensive coordinator. Busby, good coverage, so he's flushed. Gets one good pickup block. And will go out of bounds. He'll pick up the first down. Mike Tirico, let's go back to you.
Ron, old Southwest Conference friends, now in the Big 12. Baylor, Texas Tech. It's Tech by 7. Final seconds, first half. Zebby Lethbridge to Field Scoville, 24-10. Then on the ensuing kickoff, the next play is a fumble by Jeff Watson. Jody Brown the hit. Monty Rager the return. Tech by 21 at the half.
Oh, I could tell you up on the South Plain they are doing some celebrating. That one's not history, but Texas Tech. And Mike, we've talked about the defense of the Red Raiders. They're a good football team.
You know what everybody's philosophy now defensively is? Make the quarterback beat you. And everybody feels like that they're going to come in, jam receivers, play the run, and make the quarterback, when the bus hits the stadium, beat you. Here's Thad Busby moving, and we're going to pick up number 28, Warwick Dunn, and look, he does it all. There's the block on Brad Pope. Number 31, he just does so many things.
And Pope is the guy who's down from that block and still being attended to, and I'm afraid they're looking at his knee.
And Warwick Dunn went right over to him after he blocked him to make sure he was okay.
Unbeatens today who lost. Virginia, of course, had been unbeaten. K-State had been unbeaten. And Minnesota had been unbeaten. But that gets a little tougher as far as their road to success. They had the big upset over Syracuse. Pope is being helped off the field, and we'll get a report on him. You know, something we really haven't addressed, but last week on Monday, the players at Florida State called a meeting without the coaches. It was Todd Fordham, the starting right tackle, number 71, and that man, 28, Warwick Dunn, and they just wanted to talk about what they could get going on offense because they know that they were not playing up to what they should be.
And Warwick Dunn told him, he said, I need you guys.
Pass in the flat is going to be caught. That is a really nice job by Green. 4 catches for him now. In fact, the interesting thing was, Warwick even said, he kind of blushed when he said it, but he said, I even said something in the meeting.
Yeah, he doesn't speak much. He doesn't say a lot, and he doesn't need to. E.G. Green with another nice catch.
So anyway, after that meeting, then they started their regular week's preparation, and obviously the meeting turned out very well. Bobby Bowden said that the workout the very next day was the best workout they've had all year long. As Abdullah will go for 1.
Most teams do not have team meetings when you're undefeated.
That's right.
Usually they are when things aren't going well, but they know next week they're going to run into a buzzsaw down in Miami, and they want to be ready for it.
Well, Mike, they've taken offenses into Miami, into that stadium against that ball club that were well-oiled and refined and gotten beat. So they know what they have to do to be ready. Busby's pass, Abdullah. And the big fullback is loose in open field and popped down by Simmons inside the 30-yard line.
Well, the biggest difference in Thad Busby and Danny Cannell last year, the quarterback, is that he moves out of the pocket. He's a pretty mobile athlete. He's going to move to the right side. He's going to find his fullback in the flat. Thad Busby, drop back pass. Nothing there. Now he's a good enough athlete. Now Abdullah sneaks out of the backfield, number 32.
Gets the play away quickly. Pass for the end zone. Almost intercepted. That's Antoine Edwards. He was looking for Peter Warwick.
They were going on that quick count again, trying to catch Clemson, adjusting, not getting lined up. Almost caught him again for a touchdown.
E.G. Green was the recipient back in the first half as they hit him with the bomb. And Clemson was not yet lined up. So now, look, Tommy West is calling the timeout.
Yeah, they're confused on defense right now of substitutions, trying to get substitutions to match the offense of Florida State because they're not huddling.
Timeout with 6:37 left in the third. We'll be right back with more from Tallahassee.
Music Room has been the place to go for band instruments for 40 years. We commit ourselves to quality, ensuring that you get only top-of-the-line band instruments when you buy or rent from us. You get names like Yamaha, King, LeBlanc, Canadian Brass, and Selmer, all names that stand for quality in the music business. Our band instrument staff are all trained and certified as band instrument specialists to make sure they can answer any question you may have. We're proud to be the Yamaha Music and Education dealer in Georgia. The Music Room, East 2nd Avenue in Rome, serving music education in Northwest Georgia since 1956. You already know about Owen's famous barbecue, but did you know they serve breakfast too? You get a good breakfast at a good price. If you need it fast, just head for the drive-thru.
This is my planet. This is my favorite barbecue place. This is my seat, and this is my special biscuit. We call it the Hat. And this is Grandma Pat. She makes my special biscuit. You come here, and she'll make one for you, too.
Owen's Barbecue, Martha Berry Highway, in Armurchie.
In the middle of the night, many of us search for answers to life's questions. Is there a God? Am I loved? Why was I created? Did the Yankees beat the Twins? ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
20-3, the Seminoles still up by 17.
Ron, when you look at the success Florida State's had tonight, they're doing it most of the time in the shotgun. And when you do that much throwing in the shotgun, you've got to run some draws to keep that defense honest.
You see the difference in results as far as shotgun or when he's under center. Dunn gets a lead block from Abdullah, turns the corner. He takes a shot over there. Check in with Kellen Winslow, an injury report. Kellen?
Brown, number 31, Pope, the defensive back, hurt his anterior cruciate ligament. He's in a great deal of pain. They've got him on crutches right now. He should be going in a moment. Will not be back, obviously.
Okay, that is a big blow for Clemson and an outstanding student athlete. You remember we gave that back in the first half, and he was afforded that award from back in the first half when those were given. Burger King honoring the scholar athletes this year, and he was the one, and it would appear, Mike, that his season could very well be over. We certainly hope not. Short drop and out in the flat. E.G. Green couldn't hold on. Just dropped it. Lost his footing.
And they're going to pick up. Andre Cooper's going to pick up a penalty. Bobby Bowden's not going to be happy about this.
Well, there was a little chicken fighting on the last play, and this one it got worse.
And you always tell your players they always catch the second one. So you can't retaliate if somebody pushes you, unless they call it both ways here.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, 15 yards.
Well, they got Andre Cooper. He may have thrown the second one, but that's the one they usually catch.
Florida State now with 6 penalties, 54 yards. And he cost his team 15, as Mike said. The damage may have been both ways, but he's the one that got caught.
And that's not what Bobby Bowden wanted in the second half. He wants points. He wants to get this offense some confidence and some continuity in what they're doing, attacking with the run and the pass.
Anthony Simmons in the middle of that fray, number 41, the sophomore out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Here comes the reverse. Warren hit in the backfield, and Howard Bartley is right there to just eat up that reverse.
Howard Bartley just ran right into Thad Busby first and just was able to take him off, and then Peter Warwick came around on the reverse. It was just timed up poorly.
Bartley just tackled the whole world.
Oh, yeah, watch this. I mean, number 47, Howard Bartley, first of all, he hits the quarterback. Now, Peter Warwick's right there for him to tackle, so he made an outstanding play on that.
All of a sudden, this football is way back just across the 39-yard line.
One thing about this Florida State team, they can throw one of those high flies and be right back down the other end.
Busby going to try to do just that. In the end zone, very nearly complete as Ford and Edwards combined on the stop, and there was a flag down in the end zone. Also, Tommy West trying to appeal his case.
That's putting it mildly.
But it'll do no good. Next to McLean, a senior out of Meridian, Mississippi, number 9.
Started on both sides of the ball. Here's quarterback.
Yep.
For Clemson. He's an option quarterback and move the defense.
So it's first down for Florida State. The ball at the 25. Green again, and he got hit out of bounds, and that's going to be Antoine Edwards who will pick up the personal foul. And you see his teammate saying, you know, why? Mon Wilson, just he's out of bounds. We don't need that. They don't need any help.
Antoine's been tired running around trying to chase these guys all night. He finally caught up with one. E.G. Green just coming off of the route by Andre Cooper, being pushed out of bounds by Indy Ford, and there's the hit. He's out of bounds. Antoine Edwards. And now he has to go and explain it to Tommy.
Well, Tommy West tries to do some coaching and some counseling on the sideline, but the most important thing to him is it is a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line for Florida State, and the Seminoles with a player down back at the 28-yard line. And the guy who is now is Todd Fordham, the senior right tackle that we talked about, who along with Warwick Dunn called that offensive meeting, and you can see he's got an injury to his right leg.
Senior tackle. They cannot afford to lose him.
One of only 2. Chad Bates at right guard is a senior. Fordham, a senior out of Tipton, Georgia. And of course, they're starting a freshman, Jason Whitaker. Long actually playing tonight, Marcus, but Jason has been a starter there for a couple of games as well.
They've got a super tackle on that other side in Walter Jones, 76, a junior college transfer out of Holmes Junior College. He was the athlete of the year in Mississippi.
You know, Bobby Bowden said in our meeting yesterday, without hesitation, that Walter Jones could be the best they've had down here. That's saying a mouthful.
And they're moving him over to the right side here.
Alongside Marcus Long. Now the feet got tangled up. Busby's going to hold on to it. Raymond White has a hold of him, and he'll be out of bounds at the 5. Dunn and Busby got their feet tangled. Raymond White, the junior out of Clinton, Mississippi. We've called his name tonight. Mike, it's an interesting thing, and I'm sure Tommy Tuberville gets tired of hearing it. For both of these teams tonight, we've mentioned a lot of kids from the state of Mississippi.
Well, it's junior college football in Mississippi's big, and a lot of teams will go in there and try to find players.
Looking for Cooper. The ball tipped away, and it's Peter Ford who was out there working against Andre.
Well, Peter Ford read the split of the wide receiver, Andre Cooper. He tightened his route out a little bit, or tightened his alignment out, which to try to give him a little bit more field to throw this fade in. Andre Cooper working in the corner, but that was very well played by Peter Ford, 29. Giving away some height. He's 5'11", 6'2", Cooper, but he made the play.
Yep, he really did. Nice look, guys. That really tells the story of how close it was right there, and the defensive stop he made. 3rd down. Got him. Touchdown, Cooper. 4:52 left in the third quarter. Florida State puts their 4th touchdown pass in the books. And Bentley will try to get the extra point. And he does.
Thad Busby with a good release on this play to find Andre Cooper, number 1. Working against Andy Ford. Got him leveled up and inside, and now he just slips. Andre Cooper wide open in the corner. Thad Busby was watching him the whole way.
Well, Cooper on the sideline makes up for his transgression just earlier. The 15-yard penalty, gets a touchdown. And the most important thing for Bobby Bowden and also for Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, is Busby with 4 touchdown passes tonight, which equals what he did in the first 3 games.
And another important thing, Ron, Renard Wilson and Peter Boulware are now sitting over there getting ready to strap their helmets up to go after Nealon Green because he's got to throw the football now. So they're looking for that sack. Well, Thad Busby's been able to hold on to his quarterback job tonight. We talked about it earlier, that Dan Kendra's waiting in the wings, the kind of the sensation that everybody talked about, a great athlete. But Thad Busby's pretty well cemented that he's going to be the starter for the Miami game and staying there at the quarterback position.
Well, what a nice drive that was. 13 plays, 72 yards. Only consumed 302, but that's impressive. Horn and Wood, the 2 deep men for Clemson. As Bentley will kick it off. With our score now 27-3. Tony Horn. Nothing to the left. Let's take it to the right. Crosses the 30-yard line and then takes quite a hit up just short of the 35-yard line. We'll be sure and catch NFL Countdown tomorrow as Mike Tirico and the boys start your day off right. They'll detail the history of the sack from the pioneers like Deacon Jones to modern-day artists like Reggie White. Also, Junior Seau, how he has matured over the years out in San Diego. All of that NFL Countdown tomorrow.
Well, they may chronicle the sack in the NFL, but we're getting ready to see some sacks here in a minute, I believe, because these 2 defensive ends are just going to widen it out right now. There's no threat of the option anymore. There's no threat of the running game.
Green almost intercepted. You can hear on the sideline somebody hollered, picked off, and it was Capers who cut in front. Mike, look at that. They're about to go into the 6th overtime. Florida A&M and Hampton.
Hope they have a lot of Gatorade there because they could play all night.
A lot of Rattlerade. Second down and 10. 4:35 left in this third quarter. Green's going to keep it. No place to go. You could see Spires, number 90, was out, and if he pitched, he was going to devour the pitch man, so he just had to eat it.
Well, the type of offense that Clemson runs, when you get behind 27-3, especially with this defense, Church is out because you don't have the type of team that drops back and throw the football to bring you back in this ball game. So you're kind of the mercy of the defense right now, Renard Wilson.
You know, Spires might not only have made the tackle, he might have picked off the pitch had it been pitched. That's the 9th play for Clemson that has been thrown for a loss, a -29. Timeout, Clemson Tigers.
Timeout, Clemson.
And let's check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen?
Well, Ron and Mike, injury update on Todd Foreman, the senior tackle for Florida State. They've got his shoe off. His ankle's being iced down. He is out for the rest of the game. Repeat, he will not be back. They want to get him ready for next week.
Todd Fordham, obviously an integral part of this offense, and most importantly, one of the team leaders besides being a very good player.
In the Florida Citrus Bowl, and for the November 23rd,
I tell you, ankles are really debilitating. You wonder if he will be able to go next Saturday night.
Well, you never know. You want him in the training room tomorrow, and you'll get a better idea tomorrow whether or not he's going to be able to play next week.
You know, the word that we also have gotten from the bench is that Dan Kindra is beginning to loosen up. So Thad Busby could be about to head to the showers, not literally, but his playing time could be done, because I know that Coach Bowden and Mark Richt want to see some reps by this fellow right here.
He is a physical specimen.
Hey, there are a lot of linebackers that would like to look as good as that.
That's what Bobby Bowden said. He could be a linebacker, fullback, tailback for us and start right now.
Green steps up, throws long, well overthrown, and it appeared Joe Woods was in the seam. Dexter Jackson, closest man coverage. You talk about adjustments at halftime. Obviously, Mickey and company did something in the second half. Clemson only has 14 yards for the entire second half.
Well, I think the biggest thing's been the offense of Florida State's been able to control the clock now in the second half. And when you get behind, as I said before, the type of offense that Clemson runs, when you get behind by 24 points, they're not a drop-back passing team that can bring it back.
Dee Feaster, the only man back to receive Kevin Laird's punt. Feaster, it'll be returnable. He's gone. Dee Feaster shows that Florida State has a little bit of everything. Yards on the punt return. 44 yards on the kick. Feaster had time to get it set up, broke that first wave, and then it was history as he cut it back to the right. But they handle it, and Bentley's kick is perfect.
Ron, you talked about it earlier. When you block kicks and you put pressure on a punting team, you work hard on protection during the week. Look how tight Clemson is right here. Now they're going to what's going to happen is a ball snap. These players are going to try to hold up the Clemson players. Now, not allow them to get downfield. So now Dee Feaster has to get by the first guy. If he can get by the first guy, that's the guy he's responsible for. He makes him miss. Second guy now, it's Katie bar the door. Now he's in the secondary. And when you get an athlete like him in the secondary, but that's the benefit of blocking kicks. That's the other side of when you block kicks, that you hold those people inside and you get that speed on you.
DeMarco Fox also, watch him right here, number 12. See, he just tried to hit him with his head down, didn't even extend his arms to lock up. And when he went by him, the parade was well in progress.
See, they blocked all 11 Clemson players and blocked the umpire, too. They knocked him down, too.
He wouldn't have made the tackle, though, not from that angle.
No.
By the way, you have to remember, Feaster's the one who was knocked silly back in the first half.
He may not remember that return.
Oh, I think he does. You can see the smile as he looked at Mickey Andrews.
Feaster or famine tonight.
Oh, and it's only the third quarter. Well, don't forget, coming up later in the game, we'll be selecting the Visa Players of the Game. Price on the sideline, kind of a distant stare. 3:26 left to play in the third quarter. A lot of time left in this one. But teams like this Florida State unit who are so good, kind of like Piranha, Mike.
And once that blood,
that's right.
They're all over it, and that's the complete team. And when you look at that scoreboard, the defense has done a pretty good job today because only 3 points Clemson's been able to tack up there.
Horn will go down on one knee. ESPN2, well, it's the place to be next Saturday, 12:30. Big Ten clash between the Golden Gophers. They try to bounce back against this club who had a huge upset today. And then at 7 o'clock, Chris Keldorf leads North Carolina against the Maryland Terrapins. All next week on The Deuce.
Northwestern 2 years in a row have beaten Michigan. Got off to a slow start. Wake Forest beat them. And money that Mike Adamle and Adrian Karsten are kicking in there is helping the athletic department.
I think it is, huh?
Buying new uniforms.
I'd love to know which part. 15-yard personal foul call against the Seminoles, so it is moved from the 20 out to the 35-yard line.
Look at the defensive ends now widen their stances, Ron. More so now than they have the whole game.
And they try to take advantage, run it right off tackle. It'll go for short yardage. Emery Smith tackled by Sean Key.
Tommy West had a nice game plan coming into this tonight. Stayed with Florida State for a while, but the train has left the station.
Well, the one thing he didn't want to do, he didn't want to get Nealon Green hurt and lose him for the season. But on the other hand, he didn't want to throw Billy Luckey into the fray in front of 80,000 against this defense.
No, I would expect to see Billy Luckey here pretty soon.
See, Priester tripped over his own blocker, I believe, but he'll have the first down as he goes across the 45.
Nealon Green, he's had a gutty performance tonight. Not practicing all week, hurt. They didn't know until they came out here and warm up whether Nealon Green was going to be the quarterback. And you make a good point, Ron. You want him next week. Now, they've got Duke, I believe, next week. So you want Nealon Green to be the quarterback. So I think it's just a matter of time. I'd put the hook on him. I'd Sparky Anderson him and get him out of here and bring Bill Luckey in here.
Priester headed south, got sent west. Mike Tirico, let's check in with you.
Okay, Ron, back to Seattle, which was a tie game at 6. Become a Washington win. Big fourth quarter. Shane Fortney now back in, throwing his second touchdown to Jerome Pathan. Washington wins 27-6. They are in the 6th overtime. Hampton has scored. We'll see what Florida A&M does. The team from Tallahassee is down 6. Back to Tallahassee.
Okay, long one there. And of course, see, they went to the bullpen. Washington did. Came out with a right-hander, threw another touchdown. That pass is caught, and then Horn really gets punished. Boulware with the pressure, and it was Colsey who put the wood on him. But that's a nice grab by Horn.
Well, between Boulware and Renard Wilson, Chuck Amato said they had 21 sacks last year, and they missed 10. And this is one that Peter Boulware, number 58, just bearing down on Nealon Green. That's why I'd get Nealon Green out of there.
Yeah, you could see that headgear went to the midsection that time. And Boulware's going to come out of the lineup. And Sean Mitchell, 94, will come in.
Looks like he's carrying his left arm.
But remember I said back in the first half, I thought he had injured that thing, and I think it's been since then that it happened. Florida State offside of the play, and the pass is caught by Horn, and he stepped out of bounds.
Well, I can't say enough about Nealon Green. The game that he's played tonight. He's been under pressure this entire ball game. Renard Wilson brings it this time, number 55. But yet, Nealon Green stays right in there, throws the football, complete to Tony Horn on the sideline. Look at his throw. It's right there under pressure. If he could have just turned up, he was gone. Nealon Green has had a good night for Clemson.
132 yards, over 50% completion. It was Shevin Smith who tried to make the tackle on that play, but Tony Horn stepped out of bounds. 41 seconds left in the third quarter.
Peter Boulware is back in the game.
Priester, and he's going to be wrapped up by the other side. I think that's Wilson who's up. Yep, number 55, down on the bottom of that pile.
And we've talked about Boulware and Renard Wilson, and Andre Wadsworth, but Connell Spain is also a force inside there. They've got a front four that doesn't allow you to double those guys because it's difficult.
You know, Renard Wilson's almost a freak of nature. In high school, they only lifted weights for 1 year. First time they had any training. He lifted 415 in high school. Here at Florida State has gone to 520, and he runs like an absolute deer.
And when you have strength like that and quick hands, you're able to keep tackles off you so they can't hold you.
That's the end of the third quarter. And as we head to the final 15, let's take a timeout. Seminoles 31 points ahead.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
Today we're talking about officiating. In this play, there's a questionable decision. Can one official overrule another?
When you're choosing a name for your baby, you want one you'll feel good about for a long, long time. It's the same when you're choosing life insurance for yourself. You want something that will endure. When you go with State Farm, you get a life insurance company that has always received the highest possible ratings for financial strength. Which means State Farm is one name that'll sound just as good when your kids are grown up as it does today. State Farm understands life.
Today we're talking about officiating. In this play, the head linesman ruled a good catch. The field judge overruled the call on the basis of the ball being bobbled. Proper procedure.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Exceptional quality and value. That's 88 by Oldsmobile. J.D. Power and Associates' best premium midsize car in initial quality. For a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s. And with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. 88 by Oldsmobile. The time to buy is now. The Value Drive is on. See your Oldsmobile retailer today.
Before introduction, a Moen faucet is tested at least 500,000 times against leaks and drips. So it's hard to find a more reliable faucet. No matter how you look at it. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
To protect your engine, remember, pure oil now, pure oil later.
Pure oil later.
Enterprise rent-a-car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
34-3 our score, and what a difference a game makes. Take a look at this as far as receiving. Through 3 quarters, 71 plays, Clemson, 51 Florida State. You look at yardage, 375 and 182. Busby, his numbers, 308 yards, 4 touchdowns. And we're going to show you comparisons as far as receivers also on the season. That pass picked off by Florida State at the 25-yard line. James Colsey comes up with the 5th.
I've been talking about Nealon Green all night, and this was not his fault. He got hit right in the mouth. They didn't block this at all.
Spires, I believe, is who did it, Mike.
Yeah. Greg Spires, number 9, you just hit him right in the mouth. Never saw it coming. All-out blitz. Gonna see number 45, Henry Crockett, coming on the blitz. Then the inside.
Wow. Greg
Spires hit him right in the face.
Yeah, Spires should get a part of that interception because look at that thing.
May have been tipped a little bit also.
Yeah.
James Colsey on the interception.
It was very wounded. And Dan Kendra is in at quarterback. Out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. 6'2", 238. That's right. And hardly any fat, folks. Kendra, they try to strip the ball from him, and he's going to be sacked on his very first play. And Brett Williams is the guy who got him.
Well, we watched Dan Kendra early in the year against North Carolina State on a Thursday night, and he just came in, made things happen. 8 out of 18 so far this season, 2 touchdown passes. And Ron, as you said, he's a good athlete. He can throw the football, but he can also take off and run it. It's just the last play, a little bit of indecisiveness on that play for him, this first play.
Well, a little hyper as he's excited to get in.
Everybody thought he was going to go to Penn State, but Bobby Bowden won the recruiting war.
Dunn, great second effort, breaks it open. Oh, what a job by Dunn. And he's going to take it out to the 35-yard line.
I still think he's the best running back in the country. He runs like Barry Sanders of the Lions. Just got great balance, great lower body strength, just gets the handoff here. Now you're going to watch the tackles there. One guy got a hold of him. He just keeps his feet moving, the lower body, and takes off, breaks that tackle, gets in the secondary. Adrian Dingo making a tackle.
I think he got his name ripped off. It looked like, see if he's got his name on. I think Simmons got it. Done again. Hops around for 3. Simmons will make the stop on him. And he doesn't have a name. I thought that it was a flag or something on the field, but it actually was his nameplate. Clock runs. We're about to go under 13 minutes to play in the ballgame. Sean List will punt it away. Antoine Edwards is the deep man. No, check it. It's Horn, number 7, rather than 1. Abdullah's the up blocking back, number 32. List is kicked. This is a good run. Horn way back at the 15. Speed does it every time. We're going to take a break. 34-3, Florida State. Warwick Dunn having a super night.
The legendary Chalice of Malta has never come cheap. In 1238, it was captured by 10,000 Celts. In 1512, it took an entire armada. And in 1703, it took an arranged marriage to the daughter of Charles V, the older one. But luckily, if you want the Golden Chalice of Malta, all you need is the golden card of Visa, with extraordinary purchase power for extraordinary things. It's even mightier than the sword. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
I don't even know why we're going to Pinecrest. Fairways are like swamps. Sand traps are like clay. I mean, personally, I don't even find the course all that challenging.
What do you want? Pebble Beach?
Yeah.
Kelly Springfield tires are designed to go a long way. So go. Get every mile you can out of life.
You know it's going to be a 10-hour drive. Good thing weekends are 2 days.
Over the past 13 years, no other import manufacturer has sold as many sport utility vehicles as American Isuzu Motors. But hey, why stop at 13? Right now you can lease a 96 Rodeo for some of the lowest prices of the year during the Isuzu Big Deal Clearance Event. The rugged, dependable, go-anywhere Isuzus.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Isuzu, equipment for real life, and by Hager, stuff you can wear. Well, we have a new quarterback for Clemson. Interesting number with an interesting name. His name's Lucky, and he wears 13. He is from the state of Florida, Fort Walton Beach. He's very confident. He throws well. They probably will, in fact, they throw more when he is in the lineup, and has a very strong arm. 6'3", 206, a freshman. Well, you can see his arm right there, and he throws a bullet complete to Horn. Mike Tirico, let's check in with you once again.
Well, Ron, that wild overtime game is finally over. It was played at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, and Florida A&M won the game, 59-58. Hampton missing an extra point. This game in 7 overtimes. That is the most. Remember, the Yankee Conference in 1AA played OT before this year. Villanova UConn played 6 OTs in 1989.
Well, if the Hampton kicker's leg was tired, and it cost him there at the end.
That'll be a popular score when it's announced here at this stadium. The Florida A&M has won. And, of course, for people who are not familiar with the overtimes, the reason you say 1 overtime, 2 overtimes, each team gets 2 tries, then you go back and you start it all over again at the 25-yard line, and that is considered 1. Then you move to a second, and new record, 7 overtimes.
Just like innings.
Yes.
Just go till you finish.
Some guys that are going to sleep well tonight. If you look into the Clemson huddle, they're down 34-3. And now Billy Lucky getting an opportunity to work at quarterback. It's Jamie Trimble over the ball, the senior out of Ormond Beach, Florida, number 55. Deep over the middle, that pass, he just kind of threw it for grabs into double coverage. Joe Woods is who he wanted, but Colgie was there. Also Sean Key in the area.
A lot of second-team defensive players out there for Florida State now. They know they've got Miami next week. They want to rest a lot of the starters. Joe Woods is going to run a post route. This well-covered. Sean Key's going to show up, number 16, sitting back in center field, so there was no place to throw that football. Double coverage.
So on this third down, Boulware has to watch from afar, which probably is just fine with Billy Lucky. But nobody told Greg Spires that because he's not a first-teamer, he's not supposed to do the same thing.
No, and they really substitute linemen, and they do a good thing here at Florida State. They'll substitute from the first game on because two reasons. One, they want to keep their players attentive so that they are always in the game, and two, they want to build depth as they go down the season. So that's why Greg Spires is used to sacking that quarterback.
That's 2 sacks of the Clemson quarterbacks this evening, and it brings up a 4th down. Now Feaster burned him a moment ago. This time they come after the punter. They don't get it. Well, I mentioned just a moment ago about numbers and how they've changed. Look at this through 3 games. Last year combined, what they had, this year's total. These guys were not very happy because it was a slow start. Now, let's turn the page and show you what they have done tonight. They had only 12 with 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games. But Green, 5 receptions, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cooper tonight, 4 receptions, a touchdown, 37 yards.
Had a lot of big plays out of this Florida State offense.
Fakes it to Rock Preston, kept it in a long time, and he throws it to Dunn out of the backfield, and it looks as though he's got his first down. Mon Wilson pushed him out.
Good fake by Dan Kendra. Affected the linebackers. Warwick Dunn coming out of the backfield. Here's the fake. A little scissors action there. Warwick Dunn just sneaks into the flat. Mon Wilson's going to finally come up, find him, and knock him out of bounds.
It was a good fake by Kendrick.
Oh, excellent.
A long time.
Excellent.
Well, he overthrows that one. Warwick, his intended receiver. Now, folks, we talk about strength. And I kiddingly said a moment ago, most linebackers would like to look like this guy. I mean, look at the guns on this fella. His number, he's 6'2", 238. Coach Bowden says he spends hours in a grocery store that because he's reading labels, he wants to see the content of everything, make sure it doesn't have too much fat, that it's got a certain amount of calcium and everything. And he really is careful, not only with working out, but what he eats.
Well, that's why the tackles don't want to go shopping with him. They want a little of that fat content.
10.5 to play in the ball game. This is done. Looks for a block, and he will squirt through to the 40-yard line. Here's his strength chart. He runs a 4.6. Look at the vertical leap, man. That's great athletic ability.
Good.
Bench press is 425. Leg press, that is an FSU record, over 1,300 pounds. And folks, he's a quarterback. He's not a linebacker, not a defensive end. That's amazing. And he still seems to have a good range of motion as far as throwing. He's not muscle bound.
He threw that last pass sprinting to his left. Got a lot on the ball, a little high, but it got quite a bit of velocity on the football.
He's black belt Taekwondo, and they stretch a lot there. That has to be a help for him. Throws it complete. That's Warwick. And speaking of black belts in Taekwondo, let's go back to Mike Tirico.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Very athletic. Well, here's an athletic guy, Ron. Byron Hansmart. For the 4th time in 5 games, he's over 200 yards. 226 yards with this touchdown, and the first back in 1A over 1,000 this year. Now it's 1,051.
You know, there's another guy that has not gotten a lot of notice, but over 1,000 yards this early is extremely impressive.
The year of the running back. There's great running backs all over the country.
Pass complete to Cooper. Dexter McClean is there to make the hit on him.
Well, a lot of people might wonder why Florida State has Andre Cooper on the field, Warwick Dunn on the field, E.G. Green on the field, and your head 34-3. But I think this reason they're doing this with the starting offense, they want to see what Dan Kendra can do with the offense. They've seen what Thad Busby, and there's still a contention here of who should be the quarterback. Thad Busby cemented himself in there, but they want to see what Dan Kendra can do with this bunch.
Well, he's got Trey Thomas and Jason Whitaker in there on the left side. You see big Trey, number 70. He's going to run it. This see? He got really good feet as Bartley will finally wrap him up.
That's the other dimension that he brings, too. He's got mobility, but Thad Busby can run the ball also. He's a quarterback that can take off. Dan Kendra trying to find a receiver, doesn't, tucks it down. Now he becomes the fullback that Bobby Bowden thinks he could be.
Well, the numbers on Kendra as he comes over to the sideline, 3 of 4, 25 yards, and that one rush for 6. What happens is when those linebackers come up to hit, they start to, you know, kind of prob a little bit because they know it's a quarterback, and then they realize after they hit him, it's no bargain to hit him because he's like hitting a rock.
But Thad Busby, the starting quarterback's favorite quarterback is Joe Montana. Dan Kendra, the backup quarterback, his favorite NFL player is Lawrence Taylor. So it tells you a little bit about his mentality.
I thought you were going to say the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he's second on the list. A lot of people think that Lawrence Taylor was the Incredible Hulk.
There's Abdullah. Speaking of that, look at this picture here. Guess who that is, folks? That is Kendra. I'm not sure if that's envy on his face or if it really is food coloring. Under 8 minutes, Florida State 34-3.
Wants that play a little quicker so he can get up the line of scrimmage and make whatever changes he wants to with some time on that play clock.
Thad Busby, the junior out of Pace, Florida, 4 touchdown passes tonight, and everything he did a career high. You see Clemson creeping up, play a little bump on the outside, and Kendra going to run out of harm's way. 30, 25, and down to the 22-yard line. Mond Wilson finally took care of him and gives Jermaine Stringer credit for an outstanding block.
Well, the fans like the backup quarterback. They always do. All over the country, they like the second guy to come in. Dan Kendra just tucking this football in, and now he becomes a tailback. He's a different running back now. Fullback a little while ago when he was trying to run over somebody, now tailback type.
Quick play, pass, almost intercepted. As you can see, Antoine Edwards. And Mike, this is surprising. As good as Clemson's defense always is, they don't have a defensive back who has an interception so far this season.
Well, it's been a tough start for their secondary, and tonight they've been close on a couple, but just didn't make the plays.
Abdullah comes out. Cooper will come back into the huddle. They're going to have to hurry. The 25-second clock is down to 5, now down to 4.
They're going to take a timeout.
Yep, going to have to. So they'll stop the clock. 7:03 to play, and we'll take the break with them. Seminoles comfortably in front.
Over the past 13 years, no other import manufacturer has sold as many sport utility vehicles as American Isuzu Motors. But hey, why stop at 13? Right now you can lease a 96 Rodeo for some of the lowest prices of the year during the Isuzu Big Deal Clearance Event. The rugged, dependable, go-anywhere Isuzus.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's tailgate sale. With Napa halogen headlights for only $4.99 and STP gas treatment, buy one, get one free after rebate. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the tailgate sale.
America running.
Bold,
tastefully done. Critics are raving about 3 the grown-up way. From Mickey D's, producer of the critically acclaimed Arch Deluxe, comes 3 new deluxe sandwiches.
Crispy Chicken Deluxe.
Grilled Chicken Deluxe.
Fish Fillet Deluxe.
And that's an order.
Yes, sir.
Mature taste love toppings like whole leaves of lettuce, juicy tomato, tasty sauces, and a fish fillet that's 50% bigger.
You're going down.
3 the grown-up way, an exciting new part of McDonald's lineup.
I'm going in.
Going in with you.
Minnesota's aerial assault takes aim at high-powered Northwestern, led by Darnell Autry. Next Saturday at 12:30, only on ESPN2.
Well, those guys right there certainly would get a vote or in that direction. The entire defensive team as far as player of the game for Florida State. But we'll check out who are the Visa players of the game here in the next 7 minutes as we come down the home stretch. Florida State comfortably on top by 31. Warwick Dunn. And Price got a hand on him, along with Brett Williams. Brock Preston's going to check into the lineup for the Seminoles, and Warwick will come out.
See, a lot of times when you bring your backup quarterback in, he's playing with your backup players, and that's the way you want it. But as long as there's a chance that Dan Kendrick can overtake Thad Busby in a key ball game, Bobby Bob needs to know what his quarterback can do with this starting group.
Brock Preston, a junior, also out of Miami, 5'9", 183. Kendra fakes the throw, now puts a head down and runs over the defensive back. Peter Ford.
Yeah, you don't see many quarterbacks. Usually they'll go down, but not to take the hit. But Dan Kendra's going to lower his shoulder. Watch at the end of this run. Peter Ford, 180-pound defensive back, made the tackle.
And he gave up 58 pounds on the match. With Kendra at 238. 4th down, couple of yards for the first, as you see the numbers on Kendra. Quick drop, ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. I believe Brett Williams got a hand on it.
Kendrick's pass ball incomplete, intended for number 9, Peter Warwick.
It was Mon Wilson, number 42 rather than 92, who got a hand on the pass, and with that, Clemson will take it over with 5:33 to play. And of course, for him, everything is a learning experience as well. So this means Billy Luckey gets an opportunity to run the Clemson offense for a bit longer. And they've got Xanders, number 6, into the ball game. Very talented young man, a freshman out of Arlington, Virginia. Luckey rolls the pocket, overthrows Horn, but this kid's got a nice-looking motion, nice-looking arm.
That's what Tommy West said about him. He would not be in a fog here tonight. He could compete. Florida schedule, Miami, Virginia, back-to-back games. Of course, that Miami game is the key.
And of course, that's been an extremely tough place for Florida State to play. They've taken some awfully good clubs down there and come away empty-handed.
Then they get Steve Spurrier here at the final game of the year.
Shovel pass. Donegan. Oh my goodness, what a hit.
And when you look at Miami, they're off to a good start this year. And when you look at their key players, Ron, there's what you're going to face next week. Magic Benton, Danielle Ferguson, Ryan Clement. They put some statistics on the board, and they've got a pair of bookends down there at Miami that will be after Thad Busby.
I'll tell you, with all the peripheral things that have happened down there, though, I tip my hat to Butch Davis. I think he has done a really good job of holding things together.
And in Florida State, I believe the last time they won down there was '84.
Billy Luckey just got welcomed to the ACC with a hit as the pass was delivered by Hank Grant.
Pressure, Peter Boulware, number 58, working up the field. Now takes an inside route. Gets chopped there a little bit.
Feaster goes back deep to take this punt from Laird.
That was a quick 3-and-out for Clemson. Next week, Ron, we're going to have a pretty good ball game. I still think this Georgia football team is vastly improved and can play Tennessee.
They were close. Feaster calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 46-yard line. So we'll take a break. 4:32 left in our ball game. Florida State 34-3.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's tailgate sale. With Napa halogen headlights for only $4.99. And STP gas treatment, buy one, get one free after rebate. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the tailgate sale.
We keep America running.
Channel 2 Action News at 5 with Monica Kaufman and Don Farmer. Live in-depth coverage of the day's top stories. Medical news from Health Team 2 and consumer investigations with Clark Howard.
This is the fastest growing area of consumer fraud.
Channel 2 Action News at 6 with John Pruitt and Monica Kaufman.
The Atlanta Federal Penitentiary remains locked
For the
down.
most complete local news coverage that's straightforward, clear. Count on the anchors who know Georgia. Channel 2 Action News at 5 and 6. Coverage you can count on.
So huge over the years. All kinds of spin-offs have been created. There's been Sports Center, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Hi, I'm Keith Olbermann. Hi, I'm Dan Patrick. Welcome to The Big Show.
Sports Center, the concept album, and who could forget Sports Center, the movie.
Dan,
But I'm not like the other sportscasters. You make me feel in fuego.
Billy.
31-point lead by Florida State, and just under 5 minutes left to play. So although the media has been trying to get them to talk about it all week, in 4 minutes and 32 seconds officially, they can start talking about Miami here in Tallahassee. Pass, that's a little hard to Rock Preston. And even if he had caught it, O.J. Childress was right there. He was going to disturb the play considerably.
56, O.J. Childress.
Gunn comes back into the ball game, and here is his night. 12 rushes, 92 yards, 3 receptions for 37, and one of those a touchdown pass.
I would think bringing him on the field right now, they're going to try to get the ball in his hands, maybe they know, like basketball, he's close to the 100-yard mark.
That's it, Mike. They got him the ball, and he shot it. Well, if you got to win, this is the guy you got to stop. And here's that pass play. Nice job working against a good linebacker, but Simmons just couldn't stay up with him. And here's the run. Second effort, bounces it outside and gets what he can and goes down. Work done. And, of course, the nation knows his story, but it's one that is worth retelling. A young man that his mom was a police officer down in Baton Rouge and, of course, was murdered. And he has done a wonderful job of staying close with his family and helping hold things together, and wanted to stay in school for the senior year. Kendra. Was it picked? Yep, it is. Antoine Edwards, and that is the first interception by a defensive back at Clemson this year.
Well, they heard you talking about it. They wanted to get one tonight. And Dan Kendra just overthrew the ball too high. So Billy Lucky will get another opportunity. And this is one of those things, even though you're down 31 points, and Mike, you know this full well, this is like a good scrimmage, and there's certain things you want to look at that Lucky does and continue to find out his strengths under pressure. Yeah, good experience here for the backup quarterback.
Joe Woods, we see number 2 in the lineup, and also Crooks, number 3. Pressure is coming, gets it away, and that's Horn. Breaks by a tackler and loses the football. It's loose, and it is recovered by Florida State at the 45.
Well, that's too bad because Billy Lucky would have liked to have a little bit more time on the field. Tony Horn made a great move and then just fumbled the football.
Horn's a good football player. He was just there down big trying to make something happen.
Yeah, you're late in the ball game. Number 7, Tony Horn, trying to make something happen. There's the tackle. Grant caused the fumble.
And it's going to be Edwards, Mario Edwards, who will make the recovery. And a timeout has been called. And we'll take a break. 3:27 remaining. Back with the final portions of this one in just a moment.
Pick up the new rodeo for the lowest price of the year during the Isuzu Big Deal Clearance Event going on now. Oh yeah, mud sold separately.
You have a 30-year mortgage. So shouldn't you have a 30-year faucet? Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
With all my racing around, weekends can get kind of busy.
You can bet Shelley Anderson will make time for the National Hardware Sale at Sears.
I could use a few things for the car.
Like this Craftsman 13-drawer chest and cabinet, just $299.98. Or a Craftsman 75-piece mechanics tool set, only $59.99. This weekend, get to the National Hardware Sale at Sears and Sears Hardware stores.
I'll be checking it out in about 4 or 5 seconds.
Well, the defense can smile a little bit at the offense this evening with a 34-point outburst. Kendra operates quarterback again, and now we got more whistles. Well, it is time for our Visa Players of the Game. From Clemson, Nealon Green, 15 completions out of 30 attempts, 132 yards. And for Florida State, quarterback Thad Busby. You see his numbers, 4 touchdowns on the evening. As a part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities on behalf of these athletes. Pitch is fumbled, and D. Feaster does only thing he can do, and that's just recover it. Now, as we come down to the close of this one, don't forget the Residents in College Football Scoreboard. Ohio State rules, and I mean with no uncertainty today. California Magic, how about them Bears? And unbeatens go down today. All of that and more coming up on the Residents in College Football Scoreboard. How about the Golden Bears? Sorry. Feaster gets whacked hard by Mond Wilson.
Ron, when I think of Clemson, every time I see their football team, you think of Frank Howard. He passed away. 30 years as a head coach, 42 years as a coach and athletic director. Passed away January 28, 1996. The Bald Baron of Barlow Bend. He was a character.
Yeah, he
Great
really
man.
was. He really was.
He is missed.
Horn's going to run away from this one, and Liss's kick is just going to go dead. Inside the 10-yard line. 1:23 left in this one. Mike, here's the question. Does Ohio State leapfrog this group right here?
Could. I mean, somebody said Lee Corso said they would. I don't think when you win a game 34-3 that you should get leapfrogged. But they've got plenty of tough games. They're going to get Georgia Tech, Virginia, Florida. So Florida State's going to be in the hunt for this national championship all year. I'd say no.
Andre Cooper, touchdown pass tonight. Boulware, constant pressure on the quarterbacks for Clemson. And his offensive line right here has done an outstanding job.
Can I reconsider that? I forgot I'm speaking in Columbus, Ohio tomorrow.
All right, I'll ask the question again. Mike, do you think there's a possibility they could leapfrog Florida State?
I think there's a very good possibility, but I can't do that. I still think Florida State has to stay up there. Florida State, then Ohio State. I'll take that when I take that beating when I get in there tomorrow night.
But Fitz can be lonely.
That's tough going out on the limb, isn't it?
Clock is running 45, now 44 seconds. So Florida State about to take their undefeated record down to Miami, Florida. And, of course, that matchup is much awaited every year in this state. Warwick Dunn, you saw the conversation with him and his head coach just a moment ago on the sideline. Bobby Bowden loves him. He just thinks the world of Warwick Dunn and the job that he does. He said he's a very quiet guy who carries all his conversation with his action. 8 seconds and down to 7. Our final score, Florida State 34, Clemson 3. For Mike Godfrey and Kevin Winslow, Ron Franklin saying so long. You're watching ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. The Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard is next. And let's check in now with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Guys, we'll see you next week for Tennessee, Georgia. And to finish the thought on Ohio State, Florida State, both won by 31 points today. Clemson, perfect on the road last year, 5-0. They're now 0-3 away from Death Valley. Welcome to the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard Show. We are with you till the top of the hour.